All right, what's up, people? It's Terminator Juice. It's just me and T for right now. Retro's doing something, and Terrell will be here. Robert, I think he's sleeping again, so I think he's gonna miss this one too. But yeah, so I figured I'd just jump in. We had some people in the chat, so instead of waiting for everybody to get here, I figured we get the ball rolling. So we got Brebe in the chat, Donnie, B Wild, Lenny, Ayers, and Royal Hustler. What's up, everybody? And yeah, so it was just one of those nights where no one was waiting when I got in. Usually there's a couple people in the chat when I joined, and it was nobody about 2 minutes too, and I was like, oh shit. So Metroid trailer was, I can't tell what that emoji is. Looks like I can't tell what that is supposed to be. Looks like a smiley face with clouds on its head. But yeah, so T, you're gonna be relocating.
Yeah.
How's that? What kind of time frame? You're gonna miss a
4 weeks or so.
4 weeks still.
Weeks. Yeah.
So you already took some stuff down, but you probably got a lot.
Yeah.
Lot to pack.
Actually, I mean, you can't tell what I've done, obviously, in my entire house, but done a lot.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a lot smoother than like that last minute stuff that we used to do. So I started a long time ago, and just kind of methodically going through the house and getting it taken. And I got boxes. That was another major issue before. I got hooked up with the local store over here. Had them just saving me boxes.
Yeah, that's like, so at work.
So much better.
Everyone that's moving, like, hey, can you guys save us boxes? Because that's all in the morning. That's all we do. Is open up packages and stuff. So
yeah.
All right, Retro's done with his laundry hanging. Your mic's muted or something though.
Can you hear me?
Oh, now I can. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
good.
It wasn't. So while we wait for Terrell, because I think Robert's sound asleep again. I think he might as well just retire from the podcast because he works a weird shift, and he's been on Mondays just like clock. I figured he was sleeping well before, and getting a good night's sleep before he did the podcast.
Yeah, if the shift is what you say it is, but he just needs to take his ass to sleep when he gets out of work. I mean, that's what you got to do.
So, I've been working the first shift, pretty much the same shift for 22 years. So, Monday through Friday only, almost no weekends. It hasn't been a weekend probably in 5 years. And so I'm pretty solid. I don't have to worry about fluctuations. I'm starting to wake up now. I'm getting older. I'm waking up before the alarm, especially since I got my cat, and she
doing that shit too. I don't like that shit.
She needs to be fed at 6 in the morning, and sometimes she wakes me up early, sometimes not. But all right, what's up, Matthew? Looks like Terrell's jumping in, so we can get started. I'll start. I began a new game, and I beat a game. It's been a while since I finished a game. Bowser's Fury, but that lasted 3 play sessions in less than a week. But so I beat Ghost of Tsushima, and saw the credits. Well, the credits don't roll when you think it's over, but then you have to go do something, and then the credits roll. Gorgeous music during the credits, and just I think it was about 49 hours according to my save file, and man. I'm almost gonna give it an A+, but I'm gonna keep it at a right there at the cusp of an A+. I really enjoyed the game. A few little annoyances, kind of hold it back from saying it's a masterpiece, But I really enjoyed the combat, and the story was. The story, I mean, as far as Sony first-party games, I think I haven't really thought up too much about it, but it seemed pretty easy to be my favorite story-wise for a Sony first-party game, and gameplay.
Beating Last of Us.
Yeah, because this is also a very sad story because it's a war, a bunch of people dying, and a lot of side quests end with somebody dies before their family ends up dying. You got to bring them the bad news. There's a lot of downer stuff, but it doesn't have the overall doesn't have the same vibe as like The Last of Us and The Last of Us Part 2. Because there is some hope, because you're fighting the Mongols, you're beating them, the Mongols, and you meet some really interesting characters. Also have some sad stories involved in there. I mean, it's not a happy story if you really think about it, but it is an enjoyable story, and I really felt like sucked into the world where like for 2 hours, I mean, I wasn't thinking about anything outside of that game world. Like I really felt invested in everything I was doing. And I did every side quest, every like minor side quest, and then the main like Tales of Tsushima, which are optional. I don't know why. Some of the best story. A couple of those were some of the best stories in dialogue and character development I've ever experienced in a video game. So I don't know why that shit's optional. Like, it's so good. I can't imagine skipping any of it. So I really enjoyed it, and I know Robert says he likes it.
No, you don't like it.
He didn't.
Don't
Nothing he
like
said was very positive.
Juice likes the game. Robert don't like the game.
I mean,
Pretty obvious.
I kind of feel like he might have
Is he sleeping?
skipped some of the better
Yes.
stuff. Kind of like Cyberpunk. A lot of people say the side missions have some of the best content, not some of the best content in the game. And I really feel like Ghost of Tsushima's the same. And if someone skipped that, I really feel like you missed out quite a bit in the enjoyment. But if you didn't enjoy, I guess if you didn't love the combat and you're not big into open worlds, I mean, I'm not saying it's for everybody, but man, I really loved music, everything. Some of the quirks, I guess, were like Robert pointed out, the enemies will slide like 10 feet literally and attack you, but that's only an issue early on when you're low powered and you can't take out enemies quickly. And if you get sucked into a big group with like 5 to 10 guys surrounding you, you don't want that. I learned to just avoid that stuff because then it gets kind of frustrating. But really, really enjoyed that game. It sucks that it has they kind of flubbed the director's cut thing. Even though I do have the option just to get the upgrade for $20 for the PS4 version, because I don't think the PS5 upgrades. I mean, I don't think we talked about that last week. It's literally just a resolution increase. That's it, and the loading times. Because
that's really basic.
That's it. It just runs instead of at 1440p, it runs at like 1900 and something p. Like literally, that all the settings, all the visual settings, draw distance, popping, everything's identical. Textures, everything's the same as the PS4 version using backwards compatibility. So that really, I mean, the loading times were cut down from, I think it's 50 seconds down to 2 seconds. So that's a huge improvement, but it's really not worth $10 to me. So, I know why they're trying to push the game, because now that I've played it and finished it, I can see them, trying to get more people to buy the game and pushing it as a PS5 game. I don't have a problem with any of that. I just wish they didn't have that $10 price difference. So, and then the game I started, and T, I know, I tweeted about it, posted some clips or some screenshots on Twitter. Horizon Forbidden, or the Frozen Wilds DLC, and
What do you think?
I'm probably, I did, let's see, probably maybe hour and a half, and I'm really sucked back into that game. I'm enjoying it actually more than kind of the last, the end of the game. I just kind of beat it, and then I did some like side quests, so I was just kind of fast traveling everywhere and just kind of missing out on the game, because I had already done the main story, and so there was probably about 3-4 hours after I beat the game where I was just doing kind of fetch quest stuff. So that was kind of my last memories of the game. But now that I'm starting this new story in a new area, I wasn't intending on playing it, but then this out of nowhere, they're like, oh yeah, there's a performance patch for PS5, 60 frames per second. Download it, started playing it, and now I'm going to continue playing it. I'm really enjoying it. I did forget though how much Aloy talks to herself. Like it's it's constant. Like in Ghost of Tsushima, he says like 2 words throughout the whole game to himself. You know, like in Horizon, Aloy's like, I feel like it's every 3 seconds she's talking to
Whoa,
herself.
going downhill. Whoa.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
But
She just says the weirdest stuff.
yeah, it's like some of it's helpful. Like, oh, I need to get into that door. You know, it kind of helps guide you with what you need to do. But some of it's just like,
Really?
really?
I don't remember anything like that.
Like I literally was just playing it because
Yeah.
I was testing out some external storage solutions, and but yeah, I was I'm enjoying that. I before I went into the Frozen Wilds, I did some combat with some of those birds and some other. So I got used to the combat, and then I took out 2 really tough enemies without dying thanks to that armor, that shield armor.
That's what took me the longest. Because I don't remember when I first started playing the game, and I was like, I even then made a video. I think it was called "This Took a While." Basically, it took a long time to get into it. It's basically because I kept fighting against the combat system. Like, I wanted to do this shit my way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just wanted to fucking melee and run around. I didn't want to deal with the traps and all that shit. Once I got over myself, the game like opened up and it was like, oh yeah, I should have been doing this the whole time, and now it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, targeting the the little fuel cells and other parts of the body with the hardened arrows, and then using the thing to shoots them and pins it to the ground, so it kind of demobilizes them. And
it's
then
cool. It's fun to do that shit. Like I didn't want to do it at first, but when you start fucking trapping them and all that shit is fun. You hit them with the harpoon and you stick them in the ground, and you're like, they're stuck and shit, and you start picking their pieces off. It's cool.
I know Terrell remembers this. I bring it up often. I was worried about Breath of the Wild because Horizon, I seen these awesome combat sequences. And,
yeah.
And it's really fun. I uploaded that clip. It was like 12 minutes, and the last 5 was a really tough fight. And I'm like, it's really enjoyable. If it had gyro aiming, I mean, it would be.
Oh man,
it would be really quite far up my list of favorite like combat in like a third-person game. And
So wait, where is it now currently? Like, is it on the upper echelon?
I mean, it's going back to it after playing games like Ghosts and other open world games and like Returnal and all these games I've been playing. Going back to it, I was like, man, it felt really natural, and
it holds up well.
I'm really enjoying it. Like, it's not too dodge rolly, but it's a very effective dodge roll, and it's actually, you lunge quite a bit away, and the animation on it's really solid. And you can get hit.
Get your ass clapped.
You can get hit. It's not like invincibility frames, and I mean, I'm really enjoying it. So, I wasn't planning on
the challenge, the up-in challenge when it comes to the Frozen Wilds.
So far, I mean, it's nothing compared to Returnal's difficulty. So it's like, to me, it's a breath of fresh air. But still, it kept me on my toes, and it's like, it was quite the battle. The one before it was actually harder that I didn't record. It took me longer.
When you're having to deal with, those creatures in the north, the big bads. Am I spoiling it at this point? I mean, come on.
No.
Those big ass bears, basically.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Having to deal with them, and then like those fucking, what do you call them? The little energy spikes. What are the little pillars or whatever?
I haven't had
dealing with those.
I haven't faced. Oh yeah, the things that send out the pulses.
Yeah, to send out the pulses and stuff. That's some nice. That's some good stuff.
Yeah, and I will say it's nice they did the performance patch, because apparently this game was just absolutely from the ground up built for 30 frames per second. So they actually had to do some actual work. It wasn't just like Ghost of Tsushima and them. They were just kind of operating with uncapped, and then they capped them at 30 for PS4. So they just basically removed the cap. Whereas Horizon, I think they had to do work. But I will say, it's not as game changing of a difference as, say, going from Immortals on PS4 to PS5 and experiencing that 60. Days Gone felt so much better. The aiming and stuff felt really good with the 60 frames per second patch, because I played it before and then I played it after. Ghost, I can't say because I didn't play it before. Oh, who's this guy joining?
Who the fuck is that?
He's gonna be all
who the fuck is
sleepy
that?
eyed.
Say he was coming.
You conscious? Oh shit!
He's awake.
How you? Good morning, buddy. How you doing?
Hello.
He's all blue. He's a Navi
He's
from Avatar.
beautiful.
There you go.
Hey, I respect one of them game. I respect them game choices, Robert. One more than the other though. 'Cause
Well, I
fuck
mean, yeah,
none
I
of
know
them
you
games.
didn't. I got that right.
So, Robert,
I could just
I
go.
was describing. I've been playing the Frozen Wilds DLC, and I was just about talking about how the 60 FPS wasn't really as big of a difference as I thought. Maybe if I went back to 30, I would notice it. But out of all the games I played so far, I feel like it benefited the least.
Really, I feel like that one would.
It would be
benefit
nice,
these
like, for like if it had gyro aiming. I think that would really feel good.
True.
But
Yeah,
I
gyro aiming would be fucking
I
great.
literally just tested The Last of Us for the first time, the update, and with the gyro aiming and the new frame rate, it feels pretty good aiming and shooting. So I'm all like, just to fill everybody in. I decided to. I had an external, not an extra. I had a extra solid state drive. This one right here. And it says 256, but both my computer and PS5 say it's 240. It's from 2012. It was my first solid state. And I was like, all right, I'm going to free up some space on my PS5. And I watched some videos, and Digital Foundry's like, all right, get a 3.1 USB adapter for PS5. That's the only thing that works. So I order it. It shows up. And the PS5 formatted it and took a couple minutes, but then it couldn't do anything. Couldn't move any games. It couldn't install, and then all of a sudden it would just stop working. I had to plug it into my PC and reformat it, and I'm like, what the fuck, And I was like, man, I really want to test this out. So I have a what do you call it? A mechanical hard drive. It's a USB 3, so it's one of the faster little external portable ones. And I literally just sitting under my computer I had all my photos and music on there as like a backup. I was like, well, let me plug this in and just see. Formats it within seconds and just ready to use. So I started moving all my PS4 games to it. And I did a speed test with Ghost of Tsushima, and it was like 20 seconds more loading time versus the PS5's internal.
Okay.
Well, I knew this, but I don't know if everybody does. If you remember, Mark Cerny talked about it, the loading was too fast, it would break games. So the PS4 games don't actually load. They don't actually utilize the solid state. There's some kind of, governor on it that stops it, because games would just crash if they loaded too fast. So I'm like, I got this terabyte. It's not that much longer loading time. So I just go gangbusters. I get all my PS4 discs out one at a time. I'm installing everything. I'm downloading PS5 game, downloading Doom Eternal to my PS5's internal while I'm downloading PS4 games off the disc. And of course the PS5 games were all installing quicker. And I'm like, I got all my games now. I have my entire PS4 library on this external.
Damn.
And I'm like, you know what? It is nice just having everything
Just having there.
Still got to put the disc in for most of them. Like Uncharted 4, I could download part of PlayStation Plus, and I'm like, this is great. Well, so I sent back that other USB 3.1, and I got this new. It looks identical. This is a USB 3. It works perfectly. So now I have to decide if 20-30 seconds quicker loading time to have a few games on this versus having my entire PS4 library on a mechanical drive. So I have to decide what I want to do, and I might just end up, I don't know, I gotta decide. But it is nice having everything right there. So that's why I was playing Tearaway, because I reinstalled it, and I gave it another 45 minutes to an hour, and I gotta say I was falling asleep. It's just not for me, man.
Hey man, I
Good
mean,
that you weren't there, Robert. He's shitting on all your games tonight, one after the other.
No,
What do
I
you
was
mean?
praising Ghost of
one after
Tsushima.
another.
Praising Ghost of Tsushima. I wasn't
Yeah.
shitting
No,
on it.
I believe that.
Oh jeez.
But yeah, I gotta say, Tearaway, the area I was in, I told you was Crafted World level music. It was not good music.
Oh no! Oh
Nah,
no!
man, no.
The section I was on
No.
was straight. I swear it was the
soundtrack
same
is fucking
composer.
awesome.
I swear it was the same composer for that song as that did Crafted World. Like it was similar.
The problem with Crafted World is not that the Crafted World soundtrack is bad. It's that every song is a remix of itself.
I know, but
it's
it's still not good. Even the best version of it isn't great. But so yeah,
It's very bland.
So I was testing all kinds of stuff, and like I said, I started playing Last of Us Part 2. I was playing Uncharted 4. You know, there's a lot of these games I haven't started on the PS5 yet. So I just feel like, you know, I was absolutely just sitting here for the last 3 years unhooked and just plug it in and boom, you know, it's a mechanical drive and it's probably 2015, so I don't know how reliable it's going to be, but it is kind of a game changer to just have my entire library like installed.
Well, you know, now that you finished Ghost of Tsushima and stuff, now you gotta. I don't think, and I'll say right here, right now, you're not gonna like it nearly as much as Ghost of Tsushima, but I think you may enjoy Infamous Second Son, yo.
Yeah, I definitely want to try it because they did.
I say right here, so in front of everyone, I don't think you'll like it nearly as much. It's not even closely the same game, obviously, you know, but it's
Well, we know which one you prefer.
But like I was telling these guys, like that some of the optional Tales of Tsushima missions in the game completely optional. Like there's characters like you got at the end. It was like I think I had 4. It was Jin, the main guy. You had Masako. You had Sensei Ishikawa. You had Yuna, which is you can't avoid Yuna. But then you also had the monk Nurio, and each one of them have like a 9-part side mission.
Yeah, I remember doing. Are they all side stuff? Because I remember the tales of
their side
doing some of those.
Their side, they're gray or silver color. All the main missions are gold. And I was telling you guys, and I said it, or telling you, and I said it here earlier. It's some of the best story writing and character development I've ever experienced in a video game, and it's completely optional stuff.
Yeah.
So if they were that, and I can't think the only other game I played by them was Infamous, the first one, and I thought it was pretty terrible. So
well, I never played the first Infamous, so I know T was saying he wasn't feeling that one either, or whatever. Like you didn't care for the Infamous.
The first Infamous, I was like,
I didn't. I liked it in the beginning, but it just became really tedious. I'm trying again right now, currently, to get through it. I'm giving it like my 3rd shot. So 3rd time's a charm, I hope.
Even the Second Son specific, that I think is
and I can really download it.
I started the first one as well because I wanted to play the second one and shit. But
you can get that far in the first one.
The problem with the first one is like it looks like diarrhea, and it will always look like diarrhea.
It's the worst of the Unreal Engine.
It doesn't have a good art style, that's for sure.
That Xbox 360 Unreal Engine look is the worst.
Yeah, all that stuff, but it's like everything is fucking brown and shit. And
it looks grimy as hell.
It's ugly.
So I can download it as part of the PlayStation Plus collection. So I don't have to buy it.
Second Son is a pretty game, though. That was actually
gorgeous.
Second Son is gorgeous. There's no denying that. And
I'd be curious to see how it looks now.
There's more color. You'll see. Like there's more neon.
I'm curious if they ever did like a PS4 Pro patch and added HDR and stuff, because that would really be.
There's some colorful moments. There's some nice moments in there.
Yeah. So if they at least did a PS4 Pro patch, then that would be nice to at least get that, because like.
I think it's still one of the best looking PS4 games. Second Son is.
You know, it's a really good looking game.
And it came out pretty early.
Yeah, it came out February 2014.
Launch window.
So, like, I think Red Knight always said this, and I'm gonna steal it. Like, he always said if a company's last game was good, he looks forward to the next game. Well, I'm like, well, their current game's good, so now I'm looking forward to going back and trying their previous game and seeing if it, or this could be their masterpiece that maybe they'll never top this, you know. Like
I mean, I think that's the thing, is that like you know, Ghost of Tsushima and this are very Second Son are very different, and so it's like I was looking forward to it. I was looking forward to Ghost of Tsushima, but it was like I had to kind of calm my expectations. Where I'm like, all right, this is not even the same like almost genre in a way. It's like, it's like they're two completely different gameplay styles and stuff.
That's kind of the same thing with Killzone and
Horizon
Zero Dawn, right? Like, because I couldn't stand Killzone.
I hate fuck Killzone, especially the third one.
I tried, but those games did nothing for me. Like nothing. I'm like, this is that team made this game. Like, that's very different.
I wonder if I don't know their history. I'm wondering if Killzone 3 was something that Sony wanted them to make. Remember, it was like pushing 3D, and it felt like such a derivative game. Like all the characters were straight out of Gears. They're all these tough, stereotypical tough guys wearing crop shirts in the middle of a Arctic blizzard. I'm like, I got some weird traits. Like Retro Death has weird traits. I have some weird traits when it comes to. It's a video game, but God, does it annoy me that this dude's wearing a sleeveless shirt and it's supposed to be like -80 Fahrenheit or whatever.
Because he's a man.
He's
And it's
a
like
man. He's a man.
It just makes
He's a man.
Captain Falcon thighs. It just bugged the piss out of me. Plus, the game was just, like I said, just derivative, stereotypical tough guy characters. I didn't give a shit about anything happening, and I'm just curious, like if that's the game they wanted to make, or if that's what the game Sony wanted them to make, because everybody raved about 2, and I didn't think 2 was that good either. I was playing Call of Duty, like main in that.
Killzone 2.
It was okay, but
it was all hype around that trailer. That was total bullshit. That's what it came from.
I think the final game actually looked pretty close, but one of the things that annoyed me, and this is another little weird thing, Sony was like, what was it, the DualShock 2? Which one? I think was it 3 that introduced the PlayStation 3 introduced the triggers, the analog triggers. Because I'm pretty sure the 2 just had the 2 buttons, the 4 shoulder buttons.
PS2.
Well, on PlayStation 1 and 2,
I mean, look,
the fire and aim buttons were L1 and R1. Well, you got the PlayStation 3 comes out, you have analog triggers, but all these companies, the controls were aiming was L1 and shooting was
PS2
R1.
had analog.
Really?
Everything.
But
That's
with the PS3 I only had digital top buttons, and they wouldn't adapt. And there's all these games I'm playing, and I'm like, why am I throwing a grenade with the trigger? Why am I shooting with this little button up here? And I really struggled with that because I was playing Call of Duty. But anyway, long story short, I will play Infamous. Now that I have all these games, I downloaded Last Guardian, Bloodborne, Uncharted 4 using the PlayStation Collection.
Until Dawn?
I was thinking about Until Dawn. I was even looking at Detroit Becoming Human. I'm like, I have all these options to at least try them. I mean, I don't have to keep playing if I don't like them. So, Monster Hunter Worlds is on there.
Do I have Until Dawn?
Got Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah, you like that team.
So anyway,
Final Fantasy 15 I really enjoyed.
Anyway, Robert, you got some games up there. What?
Oh yeah, well, because I technically was not awake last week, so
Man, I don't want to go to sleep at night or in the morning.
Well, I finished a few games, man. I did a decent amount of games. I mean, I'm not gonna. I guess I won't talk about everything, but I'll do a quick thing where Miles Morales I did finish, and I really enjoyed it over the original. There was it is a stripped down, just perfectly paced Spider-Man game, and generally is really good. I definitely like Miles Morales over Peter Parker in terms of this game series. And Miles Morales is a really good game, and I think you guys, especially who liked the original, would like Miles Morales even more, because you don't have any of that damn MJ and all the stealth, all that thing is stripped
and Miles
out.
Morales shit in it.
Yeah.
Is like now all the Miles Morales stuff is actually Spider-Man stuff.
So how did you play it? Which mode did you do? Ray tracing 60 or?
It was performance ray tracing I did.
Okay, so
60 in ray tracing, which gorgeous ass game, man. It really is gorgeous. Gorgeous ass game. And there's so many times where I remember I took a video of like one of the cutscenes, and I'm just like, the way they move and stuff, I'm like, damn graphics, man. pretty impressive. Yeah.
Pretty good for
Pretty impressive.
you know. I don't know if it'd pass for like full feature film animation, but definitely like TV like looks better than the Resident Evil whatever that Netflix miniseries is.
I mean, it's pretty it's up there, man. I mean, environment wise, 100%. Obviously, people wise, it's like super damn close. It's really great. And then they also did play. Yeah, I guess I did finish a decent amount of games. Because then I also finished. I picked up Call of Duty, Black Ops Cold War from last year. And
you can finish those games. I forgot.
The campaign. I like the campaigns of these games and playing through them, and they're like action movies you play through. And this one was really cool, man, because they had it like more open sections and they had multiple endings and stuff. And literally you would play as like some other person. You wouldn't have a weapon on you, and you would like stealth around. And like it was genuinely like, okay, they're doing some different stuff. And I think because I was looking it up, apparently, now they got so many different developers working on one franchise. So it's like one was working on the campaign, one was working on the multiplayer, stuff like that. So technically now you have a whole studio dedicated to just the campaign. So they were able to kind of flesh it out more, do some stuff with it. And the triggers was really cool with it. And also ray tracing looked beautiful on the Black Ops Cold War for that, I will say. And then I also just finished this right before, which is the Kingdom Hearts Melody and Memories, man. And
I hate you so much, man.
Fun rhythm game, man.
Looks like a cool cover.
It's a rhythm game, all right.
Yeah, if you're look, and it's funny. So I saw someone say it's like, I don't know if I would recommend this game to someone who's not into rhythm games or Kingdom Hearts. Of course not. Why would you recommend a rhythm game to someone who's not into rhythm games? Of course not. Yeah, duh, stupid.
It's not the greatest game ever, but
Yeah.
Quick question, exactly. Robert, is that the first Kingdom Hearts game you've beaten?
No, man. I did finish Kingdom Hearts 3.
Okay, 3. All right.
And I was getting through Birth, but then admittedly didn't have. So that whole thing's gonna be on a backlog one day.
Oh, really? I thought you were a Kingdom Hearts dude. I thought you went through all of them.
Nah, I didn't go through all of them. I played through. I wanted to, and then how.
Also, remember, if you were a Kingdom Hearts fan since the beginning, you had to own like 8 different consoles and a phone and a phone.
Everything, but
like, nowadays y'all youngsters don't know how good y'all have it with all these
with
these
the
newfangled collections.
With the story so far. No, this is this especially I sent in the chat the main theme to this thing is fucking kicks ass. It sounds so good.
That's like the theme that's
so
in like
jazzy and good.
That's the main theme in all the Kingdom Hearts title screens. The
remix, right?
You link their version of it. But like if you go to any of the title screens, that's the track they play.
Yeah. And I really enjoyed Kingdom Hearts 3 a lot, and I was like, I like the idea of going to Disney Worlds and doing this action shit and have these these anime characters be over dramatic, so it's great. And so that's why Kingdom Hearts 3, Memory and Melodies. Did I say it right? No, Melody and Memories. Wait, that's what I said.
Just stop.
No, you said it the other way.
Melodies.
It was really good. I enjoyed that a lot. And I guess I did also finish for the first time ever Rabbids Go Home, man. I feel so bad for it. Remember, I always used to say, "Oh yeah."
You never finished it.
So the reason what happened.
He's a fake fan, y'all.
I know, trust me, I'm a fraud because what had happened was that was 2009. So I'm thinking I finished it, and because it was so many years ago, I didn't even think about it. But then I started thinking about the ending of the game, and I never remembered the ending. And then I finished it like a few days ago, or yesterday, or whatever. And I was like, I don't think I've ever finished it because I don't remember this ending. But damn, that's a good game, man. And now we got.
I'll trust when T says it's a good game.
Yeah, I'm telling you. I'd be shocked if you don't.
You just said Kingdom Hearts 3 was a good game, so how can?
Hey man, people like you
to talking this game up a lot, like.
No,
like,
again, I don't expect you to. I don't expect you to think it's a fucking masterpiece or anything, but you're gonna think it's a cool platformer.
It's
like
a
I'd
lot
be
of
surprised
fucking
if you don't
fun.
think
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, see, even retro, yo, even retro.
He doesn't.
doesn't help.
Juice doesn't trust my taste in games
Yeah, but I
either.
say retro liking it doesn't help.
That doesn't help.
Yeah.
It just needs to be fun. As long as it's fun, then I'm
It's
cool.
fun, man. It's fun. It's so fucking random and ridiculous. Like, what the hell is this game, man? And that's what makes it so good, man. I mean, like the things you go through, like the fact that you could just yell at people and they just fucking strip their clothing. You're like, what the hell? You know
What?
You're-
What is this game?
You're running around with the shopping cart and the rabbits in a thong, and it's just like shit's insanity. It's so good. It's so good, man.
So
Great game.
since T
But yeah.
picked that up, I think I almost had clocked it talked into getting Ghost of Tsushima. He didn't say whether he pulled the trigger. He said he could get it for £15 with his $20 voucher
Yeah, but when
for
he
Amazon.
says that, I need a commitment.
Because honestly, I think out of everyone, he would like it the most. There you go. Is that GameCube?
Yeah.
I was so confused. I thought he picked up a porno. I was like, what the fuck is that?
Think.
BMX Triple X, baby.
Threw me the fuck off.
Dave Mira BMX turned into a Triple X game because
Yeah.
it wasn't selling. For those that don't know.
Well, there's a whole story behind it, but
Yeah.
he wanted to do it until like people started freaking out about it being like, you know, like R-rated and all that shit. But I think he still had a piece of it once it was all said and done. He still did.
They were trying to ride the Tony Hawk train, and that was already kind of fading. And people weren't really excited to get into another, basically the same type.
Rest in peace, Dave Mira, by the way.
He passed away?
Yeah, he committed suicide, bro.
Damn, I never heard that.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was a few years ago.
when we're that public.
It was
So-
like I think it was like 2017 or something.
Damn.
I was gonna say also that now that I finished this, the next game that I'm playing, I'm finally be able to join you guys in the conversation. Is Hyrule Warriors?
Oh, jeez.
Jesus Christ, it's so late.
It's not
So
late.
like 6-7 months ago when I said that you'll be a year behind by the end of this year. You're like, no, I'm only 4 or 5 months behind.
Hey man,
Yeah,
It's
that-
about
that's
you're
almost
9
half
months
a
behind.
year.
You're plus 10. Let's say Hyrule Warriors came out in what, September,
November.
October? Oh,
No, the end of November.
Oh yeah, middle
Yeah.
November.
No,
So-
the end. It was like the 20 something.
Was it?
Yeah.
It's still a month, so you're like.
So you're
what?
9 months
Still a month.
behind.
I still it's like
9
3
months about to
right?
turn
But
into
you have to
10.
beat that game, which is quite a long game. Then you got to go
It's
through
like-
Immortals and
So after-
Cyberpunk.
So after Hyrule Warriors, it's Immortals I'm playing. That's what I'm playing.
His
right now.
defense, though, this bitch finished like 5 games in 2 weeks.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine.
But
Also, I was gonna.
he's gonna be at a point where it's gonna be 2023, and won't even played a single 2022 game.
Yeah.
Hey man,
Ironically enough, you're gonna have to
but
pick up the pace.
but the thing is, I'm playing games, and that's.
I
what
mean, that's
matters.
Yeah.
fine.
Just
We're
my,
playing
I mean,
games.
honestly,
Still playing more games than everybody in there.
Honestly,
And
you're just gonna have to
I'm
sit
having
up-
fun, man.
yeah, you're gonna have to
I'll-
miss the
why he's
Juices
slipping through
Loose
podcasts
game of
and
the year
shit.
podcast, but you have to do your
Actually,
own.
yeah, you probably will. 'Cause
Well,
you-
hey, to be fair, by the end, they'll probably have played the first. Let's say, I think we'll probably play the first 2 months.
There wasn't
What
really.
is that's not a lot.
Yeah, you're gonna have to sit that out.
But I have Bowser's Fury as game of the year, man. for
Oh
next
Lord,
year.
I was gonna say,
What the hell is
Robert.
that?
Motherfucking VR, son.
Oh my
VR
god.
VR
demos?
I'm in a
I
goddamn
was gonna-
rabbit hole, man. I can't get out of this
Jesus.
rabbit hole, man.
Are
Jesus
those just
Christ.
demos?
Just got this shit. Yeah, these are just demos, but
Oh my god.
this shit right here, bruh.
So quick question, Robert. Did you play Yakuza 0 or no?
No. This I just picked up. I just picked this up.
I'm very curious of your opinions because
You'll find out in who knows how many years, man. That's gonna be a backlog title, so it's good.
how is that a backlog title? That came out like what, a couple of years ago.
2017.
Exactly.
That's 4 years ago. I just did
Listen,
Smash
by
in
your
2018.
listen. You're already playing old games. I don't see why you can't. throw
Old
that in.
games. Oh man, we come
They're
to
old
the point
because
where
they're last year. They're
we come
older.
to the point that a game that came out in November is
You gotta
old.
listen.
No,
Gaming.
no.
Dude, it's
Gaming is
almost
a hard
November.
hobby to keep up
It's
with.
almost November again.
Nah,
kinda
but
true.
it's
It
not
is
almost.
almost
We're still in August.
I don't know,
The next
man.
I
few
take
days.
years to beat Xenoblade games. so-
Exactly. Yo.
It's whatever to me. And you play the game, you beat it. That's all it matters.
Exactly, yo. Exactly, yo.
So,
and just I'm not gonna be like the Game Awards. And still, hey, to be fair, we're talking about Juice just finished Ghost of Tsushima, which was July of 2020.
yeah, but that's not. I mean, I'm not counting that towards my game of the year 2020.
Hey man, you can now if you.
No,
you
that's
think about
why
it,
I
you
have
can
the
do it.
category best non-2021 game that you played this year. Or, you know.
But at this point though, you're gonna play Cyberpunk and stuff. You could update your 2020.
that
list.
ain't gonna be on.
Gonna win that.
I don't think that's gonna do well.
I will say Ghost of Tsushima might have been number 2 though.
Okay.
I think.
Number 1 would be Immortals, I would assume.
Well, yeah, I think I'd have to drop Ori from 1 to 3 if I.
Holy shit! See, that's why that's a big
Immortals
drastic.
one, and that's why I lost my shit. You can't flip that now. I ain't taking that bullshit.
That's a
I
drastic.
lost the game because I had your Immortals on 1, and then you were like, no,
Oh,
it's
yeah?
on like 4 or some shit.
This is why we have to wait until the end of the next year to make the list.
No, I'm gonna because it really does seem to incentivize people getting through games. We're gonna do it the first podcast of the new year, unless there's like a game coming out like late December. I guess Halo Infinite comes out December 8th.
It comes out December 8th.
That could
yeah.
The only reason why I say push that back is Shin Megami Tensei 5 is in December, and I know I'm not gonna beat that within that month.
That's gonna be a lengthy game.
Is that possible? No. Anime rappers that he beat Xenoblade 2 in a day.
No,
it's not.
No, he's just
That
fucking around.
game at the earliest would take you 40-something hours, which
Yeah.
is still like
there's not enough
like
hours in a day to beat that bitch.
you could probably beat it in 2 days. Yeah, maybe, but not fucking.
Yeah, but you'd have to non-stop play like legit.
straight
I
up
would have to
non-stop
play like
playing
Robert
that shit.
does.
No pissing
No,
and
but
shitting.
not even like me. You can't even do that. Even. You'd have to do.
Actually,
I
I
think
could look.
So
I can
You
look
could
it
beat it in
up
a
real quick.
weekend. You could beat it in a weekend, technically.
So I'm gonna just to even myself just to incentivize getting through some games. There's really no reason to drag out, unless like I said, unless you're in the middle of a long game and you can't get to something. We'll see how it goes, but that's kind of my plan right now.
Also, I looked it up. I think the average time to beat Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is 64 hours. It would take you almost 3 days.
Yeah, you can't beat that.
It took me 65.
Yeah, but I was like, I don't know anyone
even if
who
you
could.
are not in the average, you're above average. The best you can probably do is 50.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, you have to grind.
That'd
that
be
bitch
you'd
out.
be skipping
And
every
your retro, yo,
cutscene.
you're going to 110 and you'll be halfway through. So
How can you even deal?
If you had 110, you're like, oh, I didn't even see any of the other Titans yet. I'm still on the first one. I just like exploring.
Yeah, I just like hanging out. Jesus Christ.
So, all right, let's get into a few topics here. So I just mentioned Halo Infinite got an official release date of December 8th. And I'm guessing that's
weird, man.
for the campaign or the multiplayer.
I thought that was the campaign. I thought
That's campaign.
Okay, so
yeah.
Gamescom came.
I would assume that's both.
They showed like a cinematic.
Wow.
Yeah, they're both coming.
Yeah, that would be December 8th. Yeah. I would think.
So they showed a cinematic. That's E3. They only showed like some painting aerial shots. Now they showed a cinematic, and it's got a December 8th release date. I've heard a couple Halo fans say that they're not like super worried, but it is a little surprising that it's been over a year and they haven't still waiting to show it. So I don't know what that means. Before that release date got announced, though, I was thinking maybe it was going to miss 2021, but
I mean,
it still
it's
could.
hanging. Yeah.
So
I thought they were waiting on Call of Duty. To be honest.
We'll see, because you'd think they would, at the very least, get the free multiplayer out, But
let's see.
Well,
see.
I don't think the multiplayer was the problem. I think it was the story.
And I thought of something today
Campaign.
that we've talked about this a few times, but and it's probably been brought up, and maybe I forgot or didn't hear somebody recently. We talked. I think after E3, I was like, well, yeah, it was funny they didn't show really anything. I forgot they still got to make it work on the base Xbox One. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's holding them up or causing any issues, but with the development issues apparently that were happening in the studio, that's got to be an extra thing to have to worry about. And I'd be curious to see it actually run on the base Xbox One.
Shouldn't be a problem because the game looks like an Xbox One game anyway.
Oh, how
So-
dare you!
You know, it's one of those things. Like I feel the same way about like God of War Ragnarok. You know, I have no doubt it's gonna be a good looking game, but I would love to see like just a true next gen PS5, you know, development only game. And I kind of feel like Halo Infinite. It's like, it's great. You did that for a year, and it's great. I mean, cross gen. I have nothing against cross gen, but for a game this big, that's had this much going on, as far as development and stuff, it's like, if that was actually a factor, I'm just assuming. I don't know if it is. Maybe that part of it's no big deal. But if that was any type of like dead weight or causing delays and stuff, man, I don't think too many people would be upset. I don't think there's a ton of Xbox. Well, you know, it's hard to get the Series S and X, so maybe that would be an issue. But I'd be all for them to say, no, this is just series exclusive. You know, PC and the Series S and X. But I don't know. It's just curious we'll probably never find out. But I will be curious to see how it actually runs. Is it going to be a cyberpunk situation where like 10, 15 frames per second, or is it going to be, you know, I don't really think it will be like that, but I guess that'll be the interesting thing.
Just stop it, Retro. Stop it.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
I mean, there's screenshots in Infinite. The multiplayer looks pretty clean. Like,
I'm just messing around. It looks good. It looks good. Does it look like some crazy next gen game? No, but I don't need it to be. It's, you know, I'm cool.
It looks clean though.
Cool with it. Yeah.
So we'll
Yeah,
see.
I'll say it looks fun.
It is kind of, I mean, when are they gonna show it? Like, just drop a trailer? Probably November or something, October maybe. Maybe the first time we see it in a long time. I expect it to look pretty good on the Series X. I don't expect it to look. I didn't think it looked terrible, to be honest. I think I was one of the few people that actually liked the direction they were taking with the art style and stuff. Just had some like issues with the popping in the distance, and you know, it didn't look as next gen as people expected. But I wasn't.
I mean, I as a longtime Halo fan, I do appreciate the essence of the original Halo game. Like even the art style, even visually. I think that's probably what might be holding a lot of people up. It's trying to kind of harken back to that kind of visual style of the first game.
Yeah, if it just had that art style with like just a really dynamic lighting system, and I just, you know, they showed the game too. The game was not going to be come out, you know, last year, obviously.
No.
So, but we'll see.
Like, how did they not know that? I mean, they put fucking Master Chief on the goddamn box for the Xbox Series X. Like,
Yeah.
Like that shit was actually gonna come out. You had to know. By the time you were printing them damn boxes, that game was not gonna make it. Like, stop.
So I guess gonna have to wait a while. You know, but if it makes it out and it's a good game, you know, that might be one of those games where we'll have to delay the Game of the Year podcast for, you know, because I'm not a big Halo fan, but I might check it out. I might get Game Pass just to try it around that time.
$29.99.
So,
And I mean, you can at least judge it on the multiplayer. That's free to play.
yeah, that's true.
That is true.
I never was a huge
and-
fan of Halo multiplayer. Just
I thought that was
the
like the main
shields.
selling point of Halo.
I like the more couple
It
shots
is for
you
a lot
did.
of people, but I love the campaigns.
I mean, Halo was probably one of the games that had a more intriguing campaign experience, because I do remember people talking about. But I know Halo's claim to fame was like it was the multiplayer experience for a while.
Well,
Especially once 3 hit, like it was all about the
So
multiplayer.
to me, it's weird when you say, "Oh, the multiplayer is free to play," because I'm like, well, I don't know. I don't know. It just feels like you're underselling the game almost.
I know a lot of people just be like, "Fuck, I don't care for Halo. We go Halo campaigns anyway. I'll just play the free multiplayer."
There's gonna have to be some kind of, I mean, I'm not gonna say microtransaction, but option for people to spend money. I don't think they would do a free to play.
Oh, it's not gonna be just.
yeah.
Oh yeah, there's gonna be some money.
Which is fine. It's like
Yeah.
Rocket League does it, and I don't ever
Yeah.
spend any money. So
Well,
But-
I will say that especially lately, like past month or so, I've been playing more first-person shooters online again because I've just been enjoying it. I've been doing good too for some reason, but I've been playing this game called Splitgate that reminds me of Halo. It's like Halo mixed with Portal. I don't know if you guys heard about it. It's a free to play. It's on like every platform. other than Switch for right now. But
Hey,
So
hey,
not every platform.
part of me already knew that was gonna happen, but I was like, wait, let me wait on it.
it's legitimately like the movement in Halo, but with portals where you could literally shoot one and then you could like go around and go behind a guy. It's super cool, badass, and I went crazy. I did like 28 and 2. I was insane, but it definitely got me hyped for Halo. I'm not gonna lie, like it got me hyped for. I was like, yeah, I like that. I miss that movement style of Halo. I haven't played that in quite a while, and I'll probably because I don't know if I should have had the Halo Master Chief Collection. I know I bought it before, but it's like it makes me want to boot that up again so I could play some of that a little bit. Because I know they constantly update still the Halo Master Chief Collection, like the online, and so Halo Infinite, the fact that it's free to play, regardless, I'm gonna get Halo Infinite. But hey, man, I'm looking forward to it. I'll probably get a Series X before the end of the year. I know I can play it on PC, but I will admit, even though I'm like so against that, I'm like fucking Microsoft, but like I want my physical copy, man, of Halo Infinite. In the end of the day, and I want to get that Series X. Fuck it, to get that at least the physical
Yeah, I
copy.
think
You can't be too much against Microsoft. That is like, I hate Microsoft and buying Halo.
No, I don't hate
Xbox.
Microsoft. I never said it. No, I never said I hate Microsoft. Exactly.
Oh,
I said, God
Lord.
damn, I just my whole thing with the Xbox One was like, oh, I could also play on PC and stuff, and I still can for majority of games. Like for instance, like Psychonauts 2 doesn't have a physical copy for some reason. I find that so strange.
Wait,
You'll
what?
get one.
The physical Psychonauts 2, there's no physical copy of that. They didn't.
It's gotta be.
It shouldn't be in a situation where it will get one. Microsoft own that shit. Put a goddamn physical.
Yeah,
copy.
it doesn't
Does
make
the
any sense now
PS4
I
have
think
a
about it.
physical version?
No, only for backers that backed it a while ago. When it first
Because it
came
was
out.
remember because it originally was a Kickstarter.
and not only,
It's
but if you
one thing
notice
that,
that.
yeah, go ahead.
Well, have you noticed that Microsoft's been doing that? I don't know if people don't really talk
They
about it.
have.
Lately, a lot of their games do not come out physically
Fucking
You know,
Ori didn't come out.
for a
I feel
while,
like-
and also the Medium has not. There's no physical copy of Medium, and now it's on Sony and stuff. I don't know if it's Sony on there. They have a physical copy, but like
That's
legit,
crazy.
like why? Like what? Like it's so weird. We're always talking about backwards compatibility, all the type of stuff, but they're not putting too many physicals out anymore. And the only one that I see in the future right now is Halo Infinite. They haven't. I don't even. I'm guessing Forza Horizon 5. You would think,
There's no way they can put out Forza and
right?
So the
You would
Medium
hope.
has a
have
physical.
copy. This is like a
Medium
smaller
does have a
game.
physical.
Mm-hmm. I thought
It
I
wasn't
seen
when
it
it first
before.
came out. It wasn't when it first came out. That's why I didn't see. Let me see. Physical.
Psychonauts
Okay,
didn't come up
so
on
that means
Amazon.
So I see it. It wasn't when it first came out. So
There's
maybe
no
they
physical for Medium.
No,
There
it
is,
is now at
yeah.
least. But it
Oh.
wasn't. I will say
It
when
wasn't
it
at
first
launch.
came out, at launch there was no physical.
Hmm.
So that's why I don't know why they've been doing that. They've been releasing it later on. Oh no. So okay, hold on. Yeah. So no, the physical doesn't come out till look at that. So they did not come out till September 3rd.
That ain't too
Why?
bad.
Yeah, but the game
But
came out in
why,
February.
yeah.
But why? Like why? Why they?
Oh,
why
you're
they
talking
not,
about the Medium?
the medium?
I thought you were talking about Psychonauts.
Like,
Oh
not
wait,
everybody has Game Pass,
Psychonauts also. Wait,
but
let me
wants
see.
Game
Psychonauts.
Pass.
Let me see. Psychonauts. Because again, literally last week I checked and there was no physical. So did they make a physical now?
If they made,
Well, Psychonauts, I kind of understand because that was like a incentive for the
Honestly,
Kickstarter.
I don't see any physical. I only see
Hmm.
digital.
that's kind of weird. Might as well get on damn PC then if you're.
That's what I'm saying. For me,
wait.
that's at that point.
Yeah,
I
It
I
would
did
think
seem to be
I'll
getting
probably
pretty
get it
good
on PC.
reviews though.
Or I'll just
Yeah,
play that
I've
bitch on what
I've
they
been
want me
hearing
to do.
great
Play that bitch
reviews,
on
yeah.
Game Pass. And
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
What
probably
is the
what I'm gonna
Metacritic?
do.
Because I've heard from pretty high praise for
it's
that
like
game.
an 89 or some
Yeah,
shit.
it was the 89 was the last time I checked.
Which
Yeah,
is
that's pretty
like
good.
It got
the,
review bombed by a bunch of
it's
ponies and shit.
so it's at an 88 right now.
Yeah,
Why?
What's the
yeah,
user?
the user score is way low.
7.3 now.
Yeah, that's probably.
Oh, but PC it's at 89. No, so you bounced it out 88, 89.
Yeah, I've watched one review and it sounded pretty good, so I was like, man.
Well,
That's-
it's matching the game of the year so far, which is It Takes Two. I think It Takes Two has 89 or something
I
like that.
still got to get that game. I think me and my son need to run through that.
89. Yeah. So
Yeah.
okay. So there's like it's a three-way tie between like Ratchet, It Takes Two, and Psychonauts
What's-
that are like the highest rated.
Is It Takes Two a Game Pass game?
No.
Well, it's EA original, so maybe.
Oh man, maybe because of
might.
EA.
Oh yeah.
Maybe. I'm not.
I think you have to have Ultimate to get the EA stuff. You have to have
Oh,
Game
that's
Pass.
right. That's That's $15 a month, ain't it? Kiss my ass.
Or you can just pay $1 for 3 months every time they
Yeah,
offer
I'm
it.
looking for a deal so I can get that $1 somewhere.
So another game got a release date confirmed is Horizon Forbidden Wilds or Forbidden West.
Forbidden Wild.
Yeah, I mixed up the other one too.
Wow.
Frozen Wilds. I said Forbidden Wilds.
That sound like some porno.
February 18th, 2021. So not that far into next year. So that does tell me it had a chance to be out this year, but you know, somebody asked me a couple weeks ago if I was mad.
That's like what, 5 years to the day? Is it 5 years?
Because it was February
God.
29th initially
That's
launched,
crazy.
so less than 5 years.
That's crazy.
But it's been 5 fucking years.
It's been that long.
So somebody asked me when the rumors of the leak came out.
5 years.
They asked me if I was mad about it. And I was like, I don't think I've ever been mad about a delay. I've always been disappointed. I've never been angry. I don't care if it was Ocarina of Time, Twilight
that was
Princess.
disappointing.
It was just disappointment. But
Yeah.
I know it's for a good reason. I would rather have that than them release a shitty, a buggy game, So hopefully that's enough time for them to polish it and but I don't think I can pay 70 for I don't think I'm gonna pay 70 for it, so I'm gonna have to wait even past that.
Well, I will say is when I was younger, I think I was mad at when they announced the Smash Wii U and 3DS release dates, and 3DS came out before Wii U. I was so devastated. I remember that. Where it was remember it was October, then November or December for Wii U, and it took us only a month or less than a month. But I was devastated, I was 15, 16, 15. I was
bum, but you were.
God damn it! But I think I was
mad.
You think you're mad?
I might have been angry that day.
Because Ori and the Will of the Wisp got delayed a year. Breath of the Wild, past the first time they showed it was. I didn't expect it till the next year, but then it got delayed in year and a half. Silk Song, it's it sucks.
Yeah.
But I don't get.
Technically hasn't been delayed because it never had a release date.
Yeah, I'm just glad that
Breath of the Wild needed to be pushed back because they needed to take out all the cool features they were
Yeah.
gonna
Right,
use.
exactly.
Oh god.
But
Still mad about that shit.
who's more mad, all the Xbox One people who bought Cyberpunk, or the people that when they delayed it for 2 months? The people that bought it and got that unplayable version. So I'm just glad that it's fairly early in the year. It wasn't pushed to April, May, June, next year. So, but like I said, I don't think I can pay 70 for a game when there's a $60 PS4 version gonna be sitting right there.
Well, there's no reason to.
So I'm gonna have to wait for at least a $10 price drop on the PS5 version. So I won't be picking it up in February, but at least it's coming out, has a release date. That's the next release date I think for Sony.
I was gonna say so there is no holiday game for them.
I'll be playing it on the PS4.
I guess there's no holiday.
And
I'm
when they
saying,
upgrade for PS5, I'll probably get my PS5 around that time anyway. So that's when I'll.
The game gonna run good on the PS4. I don't have any doubts about that because the engine was, it was a flawless, pretty much 30 FPS on the PS4. So I'd be curious.
Yep. Well, that's why, especially this holiday, it's weird because definitely Microsoft has the better lineup. It's not even close. You have Halo Infinite and Forza Horizon as a 1-2 punch, and then I have no clue what Sony's released. I don't think
Sony has a holiday game.
I don't think they
don't.
What other game is coming out? I can't think of anything.
From
Don't
them?
they have that? Don't they have the Bethesda game?
They got Deathloop, but that's not really a holiday.
Yeah, but that's next week or something, or next.
Yeah,
month,
it's not. We don't have anything. We don't really have anything for November, December.
I don't. Does Sony normally have a holiday, a first
they have
party? I don't
something.
think they don't put out. They don't really put out first party holiday games.
Yeah, I guess they don't really even think about that too often.
So what?
Death Stranding, director's cut, probably the next.
I'm not.
Hey man, that's not a new game.
Somebody on
I'm
my
just
friends
saying-
list has it pre-ordered. I'm just gonna say that.
I remember Sony at least having one thing out in the fall.
I think
season.
Concrete Genie.
They
came
just
out
put
during
it
the
out. They
holiday.
put out their games when they're ready. Last of Us
it's
got
just
delayed.
That just seems weird
Last
to
of
me.
Us 2. All these games.
Nothing for the holiday.
I can't think of anything.
Well,
I can't
They're
think of
big.
anything.
To be fair, last holiday because you had the
Well,
new
'cause of the
console,
PS5,
a
yeah.
Yeah,
big
you had
amount
the
of
new
stuff.
console.
Spider-Man.
Not having.
Spider-Man, I feel like came out in the first
Yeah, Spider-Man
quarter of
was-
the
It
year.
was Spider-Man. Oh,
Spider-Man was a
Spider-
launch, wasn't
I'm
it?
talking about
You're talking
PS4.
No, Spider-Man PS4 came out in September.
PS4,
I think it came out in September.
That was. Let me see. Resident
Yeah,
Dawn.
they've never really
Love
done like
Dawn.
a big holiday release. God of War
This is
came
weird.
out in like March.
I think
Last
Concrete
of Us
Genie
2
came
was
out.
like
Oh,
June.
literally, other than Halo in December, Nintendo
No,
just gonna
Concrete Genie's
chilling for the
October
rest for the next couple
Yeah,
of months.
Nintendo's gonna be leading other than some of
Nintendo's
the
gonna have
big.
one more holiday hurrah, and then it's gonna be let's see.
Let's see how we do.
Yeah, next.
So how
Christmas.
to
I'll be
Because-
curious to
because-
see how the Xbox performs over the holiday with Halo and
Well,
Forza. both
my
out.
thing is that since it comes out in December, it'll miss Black Friday, but it'll get the
Oh
Christmas.
shit, that's right.
But it will
That's
get Christmas.
Yeah, it's
It
got a
will
sting
get
of it.
Christmas.
Forza Horizon?
Unless
I think October.
When is that?
Oh,
Or no,
Forza
that's
October?
November.
No, yeah, that's
Forza
okay, that's
Horizon's
cool.
November.
So Forza will be.
I mean, to be fair, when it comes to Nintendo, Pokemon Legends is coming out January. I think they said Splatoon 3 is coming out in the first couple of months as well, from what I understood.
I don't
so,
know. We don't have a
But they
date.
got-
but we have a
Got
general.
Pokemon.
Comes out before
They got
Horizon.
Pokemon Double Dip editions too. coming,
Yeah,
so-
remember.
And WarioWare
Yeah.
comes out. WarioWare,
WarioWare comes out in a few weeks.
and they have a
Is it-
free
I thought-
demo. I just keep forgetting to try it.
I mean,
Yeah.
realistically, you got because you got WarioWare, and then you got Metroid in October,
Metroid, right?
Pokemon in November, and then
You got
Shin
Advance
Megami
Wars.
Tensei
You got
and Shin Megami
Megami
Tensei.
Tensei
Mario
5.
Party.
Oh yeah, it's a Mario
Oh
Party.
yeah, holy shit! Super Mario
Yeah,
No
Party.
more.
They got some stuff, son.
I was like, Nintendo's literally
Nintendo
gonna
don't
be
fuck
like,
around when it comes to holiday season.
well, that's
Yeah,
fine. I'm cool for it. I'm just saying, like,
Yeah,
other than Halo and I guess Forza.
They even got a whole new model come out. You know.
So
Oh,
the
right,
OLED
that's right.
comes
Don't forget
out.
the OLED. That wonderful
And
name,
apparently-
Switch OLED model.
Monolith Soft's game could potentially get announced here pretty soon and shown, and coming out early next year. It sounds like it's in the final
That'd be
stages
awesome. Imagine.
because the
Wouldn't-
music and
listen,
stuff was
I
already
think-
done.
I'll put it this way: if we get, let's say, and this is just theory crowd. Let's say we get a direct announcement within the next week or so, and we get a direct like in the middle of September, and it announces the least Monolith Soft's next game, and that's early next year. Would you
Whoa.
feel better going into 2022 about what their plans are?
Bro,
How they're
Terrell,
gonna handle
are
it?
you? Who's these sources that you got?
No, I'm doing theory.
If they
crafting,
come out,
damn it.
let's say March with their new
Yeah.
game.
Bro, that's not how you leak something, man. You gotta.
I'm
say
not
what you
leaking
said.
anything.
You
You
have
got
to say
Pokemon.
yes,
Terrell's
by
about
the
to have
way.
the best year of his life in 2022. You can new
Listen,
Xenoblade. You got Pokemon Legends.
Listen,
Yeah, man.
if I start out my in January with Pokemon, and then fucking March is Xenoblade, man, I don't give a fuck about no Horizon, dog. You better please. I ain't gonna give any types of fuck. I'm just, and it's funny because I have the first game just sitting in my damn room. I need to fucking play it, but fucking
That's not your
None
type
of
of
this
game,
shit.
pretty
I'm gonna
much.
be playing my Steam Deck.
Oh my god.
when does that come out? When is that?
It
When's the
comes
first?
out. It should ship the
It comes out in
end
December
of the year.
for some people.
December.
I'm not getting mine to probably January, February though.
And the play date, man. And the play date. The play date comes out also.
The
that
what?
is-
Play date, yep.
That would come out shipping in the end of the year.
I mean, 2022 is gonna be
you
a
know
very
that
interesting year.
Juice, because you said that earlier. How do you know that they're that far in development?
What? For
No,
what game?
Did they say something?
Oh,
The
for-
new Monolith.
Oh,
game,
that's-
You said they were-
Apparently, the music guy's already been in recording, and they don't do that till the end of the game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I didn't know.
It's more like logical.
The
Who
voice.
is it? Who is it? Who's doing the
It's
music?
just, what do you call it? Deductive reasoning.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. Deductive
Probably the
reasoning.
same guy they
Yeah, it's
always
just-
do.
So they're already
Yeah,
done
that's
with the
what you do.
You know
audio.
what's gonna
You wait
happen?
until-
That's I don't know if that was a confirmation,
That
but it
wouldn't
seemed
be.
pretty.
I mean, that'd be like a nice 1-2 punch, and then say like Zelda rounded off the year. Like that's like
Splatoon
that'd be-
3, Zelda, Xenoblade
Nintendo
3,
is back, bitch.
That'd be a
Pokemon
nice-
Legends,
that'd be at least you couldn't say that was a
Metroid
bad
Prime
year.
4,
Fuck
Or-
that year. You feel like
Bayonetta
that year.
3,
Adding
We're not gonna
typos.
throw those two in there, all right, Juice. I'm not gonna throw those two in there.
Wave
Those two
Race,
next year.
F
All right, now
Zero,
you listen. Now you just
Come on.
talking.
F-Zero
Let's-
Rabbits
GZ.
go
Listen,
home too.
listen.
Is finally
I'm just
out.
saying
Zero
objectively
GZ.
of the games we know that are coming. You got Pokemon.
Breath of the Wild's not guaranteed 2022 either. I don't
It's
think.
not guaranteed, but let's say, do you think late 2022 is unreasonable?
Not
Breath of the
unreasonable,
Wild
but
2.
gonna be
That is
December.
guaranteed next
December
November.
19th.
I mean, I'm saying if you start the year with Pokemon, it wouldn't make to me it'd be fine to end the year with Zelda. That's the way
Hell
I
Oh, that'd
yeah.
be gorgeous. That'd be a nice
yeah.
bookend.
Hell
Especially if you
yeah.
have like a new Xenoblade or a new Monolith Soft game and Splatoon 3 in the
And
middle of
Mario
that.
Rabbids.
Oh, that's right,
Mario and
Rabbids.
Rabbids, yeah.
Mario Rabbits.
2022 wouldn't look
Next
bad.
year's gonna be stacked.
Don't,
This
hey,
year's
chill
already
out.
pretty
Hey,
stacked.
listen, we're not doing that. Don't
Next year's
get.
gonna be 1998 again, yo.
That's gonna
Look
be
at that.
that's gonna be 2010 for the Wii. It's gonna be the last. It's gonna get all these
2010
games.
Oh, is
There's
that
gonna be
it?
one
Oh,
late
man.
game in 2023, and the systems is gonna be treading water.
That's Metroid Prime 4, man. And then we ended off.
Nah, man, the Switch got 4 more years. What you talking about, bro?
You know what's funny?
If you put out Dread, then would you put Metroid Prime 4 like out like?
I wouldn't put Prime 4 on the Switch at all at this point.
I wouldn't
just
either.
me.
You just.
That's the launch title for Switch 2.
Yeah, I
wouldn't fuck
agree.
around.
I agree personally, but I don't know.
So fuck. You just
Fucking Odyssey 2.
Yeah, the
That
Odyssey.
was confirmed,
Oh,
right? To be in development.
No.
Mario
what?
Kart 9. Let's think if it launched with Metroid Prime 4, Mario Kart 9, Odyssey 2. That's your launch
Would that be
for the
would
Switch
my-
2.
Would that be? Here's my question. Though.
And
Would that be-
Monolith and
but here's
Monolith's
my
action
question.
The
game.
rap.
But here's
Yeah.
my question: is that better? Would that be better than 2017? All things considered.
Well, I'm talking launch. That's the launch day games.
That's
That
the
was,
best
Oh, you're
fucking
doing
launch
launch.
Launch
game.
day?
Launch day? That just seems
Holy
unrealistic.
they better
Nah,
have
it's
20
all-
million. They better have 20 million Switch 2s per.
Yeah, but I
production.
wouldn't even do that. That's insane.
So
You could space those
Goodness
games out
gracious.
and maximize your bang
I-
for your
I
buck.
hope-
Yeah,
hope
cross-gen
next
them
year-
bitches.
I hope
Cross-gen
next
them,
year
you
we
know?
get some smaller entries, though. You know, some of the ones that aren't up in the priority list, like a Rhythm Heaven. I hope we get like
a
Rhythm
wave
Heaven, 'cause,
race.
you know,
So-
something like that.
Since we're talking about this, and we were just talking about kind of like rumors and potential info, the Switch Pro rumors, from what I've seen, are completely dead. Like I don't know.
dead.
Super Metal Dave is probably still trying, but
Oh,
So-
he'll never stop. He will never stop.
so Alex Battaglia from Digital Foundry, he actually like took a deep dive into the Nvidia's current tech and the power wattage of certain, I forget what I know he looked at the consoles and stuff doing ray tracing, but he looked at something that's I don't know, he had some numbers and it was like the bare minimum for 4K for like basically the Tegra or something, doing decent, or with DLSS needed like the lowest device that does it right now is like, I don't know, 30 watt, whatever it was like twice as much as what he foresees the Switch 2 using, because the Switch, the new Switch right now, when it plays games, it draws like 11 watts or 10 watts. So he said maybe if they doubled that and get 20 or something, 18. He said what's required to use DLSS to get up to 4K is going to be probably 30 to 40 watts. So basically what he did was just completely murder all the bullshit people saying 4K DLSS Switch Pro last year or this year. And then, it's been delayed because of the chip shortage. Basically, it'd be impossible to have DLSS running and have a game running at being upscaled to even like 1440p. So his idea was thinking about what the Switch 2 could do, but at the same time, there was no chance. I doubt there was even, maybe Nintendo tried or looked into it, but there was no technology out using the Tegra 1 to achieve DLSS 4K with the Switch. So the Switch Pro was just absolutely fabricated, like everything about it other than the OLED screen. And I don't think too many people saw what his video and took it that way, but that's what I got out of it. I even commented about it, but he didn't reply. No one else like replied to it. So I don't know if people just thought it was obvious or just didn't care. But to me, that just like completely confirmed it was 100% just fabricated nonsense. And there's a guy on Twitter, the GOAT something. He was just holding on, defending the what do you call them? I know T jumped into one of his things. Reliable sources. These guys, they're reliable sources. Oh, we'll see in October. We'll see after the OLED and everything. We'll see in October if they were lying. Like, dude, like, what are you holding on to? I almost wanted to look them up on Twitter and say, bro, watch this video. Tell me that there was ever going to be a 4K DLSS Switch Pro. Like, come on.
Yeah.
But I'm just glad that OLED did what I thought it was going to do and killed the Switch Pro for good. Or at least
So how long do you think it would? How many years
Switch
do
Pro
you think it
isn't
would be
dead,
for able to do that then?
It's right there.
Yeah.
He
He said NVIDIA's going to have to, if they can come up with a way to make the DLSS like twice as efficient, right now, even if they used their best chip, which he don't think they would because it's too far ahead for Nintendo advanced, because they have a current chip that uses DLSS, but it's like 40 watts it requires. So they would have to it would have to not be a handheld because 40 watts would just be, he says that actually they probably, in handheld mode, you wouldn't need the DLSS. So they could they could maybe make one, but it would be a brand new Switch. There's no put in DLSS.
So it would be the next generation
on the current Switch. It would be the next gen Switch, 2023 or later, basically.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, if we're looking at a 2024, like, I feel like they gotta be using some sort of DLSS type thing. Like by 2024.
By then, yeah, it might be
competition for the Steam Deck.
But I really think it needs to be 2023. But that's just me. Anyway, let's talk about Metroid, because there's been some debating about
the trailer looks like God. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
I know, and I know Retro Dev. We're not gonna talk about anything in it. Just talk about talk about all those that have watched it and watched some of the other content. If you feel they're showing too much, and if you feel like it's a needed strategy, if it's a good strategy, a bad strategy, because it sucks because they even posted, I know, Retro, I think you were going to unfollow Nintendo, their official Twitter.
Nintendo. I muted them now. Fuck
but
us.
They had a screenshot of a character that's in that trailer that I guarantee you was in the first 5 minutes of the game. But
I'm sure it is. That's why
I know that doesn't matter to some people. But they're not giving you the choice by posting that screenshot. It's your choice not to watch the trailer. There's people who don't watch trailers, period.
Right.
I've always been somebody.
I don't really watch trailers.
I watch every trailer to every movie, video game, show. I'm excited. But I watch every trailer until the release date. I don't care. Like, I maybe once or twice I've been like, all right, I'm good. I don't need to see another trailer. But that's very few and far between. So for me, even with that, even though I always watch everything, I could see where someone would be like, yeah, that would have been better. That would have been better left in the, experiencing in the game. A particular looks like a boss, I don't think, saying that they showed a boss. I mean, there's bosses in the game. I was like, yeah, I know there's going to be people who would much prefer to have seen that in the game. So I would say it's borderline for me where it's like, all right, that trailer probably showed more than it needed to, but it doesn't bother me because, like I said, I told you guys, I'm excited for it the same whether I see it in a trailer or if I see it in the game. Like something, that boss looks awesome. Like to me, it doesn't matter if it's in the game or in a trailer. It's still an exciting thing, and I'm still excited.
It's a reveal, right? It's like, to me, it doesn't matter that I don't get that reveal in the game.
Because I still just got the reveal, and I still get that.
I still got a really cool reveal.
But that's how I look at it, and I understand not everybody feels that way. So, but I say
the reason why I don't like specific stuff like that in this very specific instance, for example, let's say we take an old ass game, Final Fantasy VII. In the original Final Fantasy VII, like we all know, a character dies. If you see that, if I would see something like that in the trailer, I'm no longer gonna be playing Final Fantasy VII loosely. I'm gonna be playing towards our
that's
moment.
a pretty major spoiler.
And that's all I'm gonna be thinking
It's
about.
very different, though.
No, but I mean,
also,
like,
I would
every
think that the way
single thing to me falls in that category. The littlest fucking thing. I told you guys. They showed the original trailer. They showed the original trailer, and I watched it. I'm like, okay, I gotta see this shit, you know. And after that, they showed another trailer, I think, or something else, and I didn't watch that. And then, for example, Rule of Two, he makes literally like fucking 80. I counted him at one point. He made like 18 fucking Metroid videos in 1 month. But like thumbnails, this and that, and the stuff I didn't want to see there, I started seeing it there, so I muted him and shit. And then Nintendo started just posting fucking GIFs of the game where you saw certain weapons in action, and I'm like, I don't want to see that and shit, you know. And now this new trailer dropped, and like Giuseppe, you see thumbnails of characters, and I'm like, that's it, I'm fucking done. So I muted fucking Nintendo. Like, I don't care. The smallest thing for me is a spoiler. Like, and I don't appreciate it. I want to discover everything fresh in the game. I don't want to be playing towards something. I'm going to be, oh, there's this cool new fucking arm cannon. What do I want to get it? Ooh, am I going to get it after this boss? Oh, no, maybe it's the next boss, you know? Or like, oh, they showed that boss. Maybe I get that boss, and then I get to know. I don't want to play a game like that.
Yeah, and I don't hate that. I mean, I understand people
I don't
that are like that.
Ever.
You brought up Rule of Two, and I'm like, I remember him being a super stickler for that type of stuff too. And here he is, like you said, 18 videos about deep.
Well, I was surprised he watched that.
Well,
trailer.
there's money to be made.
Based on what he just said to you, I was surprised that he watched that newest trailer.
Yeah, that's
so
surprising.
I don't know what changed.
I know he's like a super.
Well, I think it helps with.
Yeah,
his,
I guess the question more so
helps with
is,
his analysis videos probably.
Well, yeah.
Should Nintendo be posting this much then? Is the question.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Because it actually had a positive effect.
Yeah, but hell yeah. Why? Because Metroid don't sell for shit. That's why.
And it's had a positive effect. People are getting excited. And then someone even said they're not a Metroid fan, but that trailer was lit. Like, that's what it was.
Exactly. That's why they have
it's a great fucking trailer. It's a great trailer.
At least you could agree with that. That hey, let them do everything they need.
I was gonna
and my
to that specific question. What you said is like, should they do it? And I do agree. Like, I have the choice to mute them, so I can.
Yeah.
But I do agree, especially because of Metroid, they should. Because I always said, just like T said, Metroid sells for shit. It's not as big as people think, and they need to do everything they can to make people want to play this. And unfortunately, you know, you have to reveal intrigue for that. You have to reveal new shit, you know. So I definitely think they should do it.
Well, and because it annoys this piss out of me, one of the greatest gaming franchises of all time, and it barely sells. Because of the fact that you have Metroidvania, you have the Metroidvania games out there, right? And more people know about those shits than they do about the fucking series it came from. Mm-hmm. And that annoys the piss out of me. And so, yes, I need this fucking game to sell because I'm tired of Metroidvania.
Yeah, that's why I just say Metroid-style games. I don't say Metroidvania. So let me tell you, Retro.
Every time you're forced to say that.
Retro, let me tell you where I agree with you, because they flashed like a ton of like new moves and weapons, and I'm like, okay, I just saw a flash something. I'm not quite sure what that was. Was that the freeze beam or whatever? You know, I don't know. I'm not gonna watch a slow motion breakdown analysis video of that. I don't want to.
There's only certain IP. There's only certain games that make me.
I don't need to see every little freeze frame it and see all this and reveal all the secrets. Yeah. But
I'll do that for Zelda, because I love Zelda theory stuff. But
I'll do that
a game, not Metroid. I'm not doing it for Metroid.
So I liked watching the trailer. It looks, I mean, everybody that's seen it, it's a phenomenal. It's one of Nintendo's best trailers.
Yeah.
I actually didn't watch it.
I truly believe that the big spoiler that everyone thinks is, I bet you that's the opening cut, part of the opening cutscene.
I guarantee
it wouldn't surprise me.
So
I guarantee that shit's ready.
I don't think they showed really anything super late game. Maybe a flash here or there. They just showed.
Why did you not watch it, Robert?
I don't watch a ton of trailers in general. I mean, it's just
you're the guy who doesn't give a shit about spoilers usually.
Yeah, dude. Of course I care about spoilers. I like
how you trying to brand you with something else.
I very much care about spoilers. I mean, like when it comes to movies trailers, I don't watch majority of them. Like I especially for movies, because movies are only like 2 hours, so they almost show like a good amount of
Some
scenes.
movie
And so
trailers
I know,
are
like,
cut together like the plot of the movie. That's
yeah, but I don't like
know what I'm saying?
knowing.
So they do
I don't like
spoil.
knowing the like the locations, anything that background. I like to see that fresh, like when I was seeing that, like for me personally. And then when it comes to like Metroid Dread, like I was already into it, and I feel like I've seen enough of the environments that I don't want to see any more environments and stuff like that. I just want to play the game eventually.
Because I
You know,
needed to
like,
see more environments because I wasn't too thrilled with the first environment they showed. So to see more
I like the first one,
variety,
and also the whole like outworld, like kind of like cave like thing. I thought it looked cool. I'm like, all right, I don't really need to see any more environments because I know they're gonna look cool, but I don't wanna know them. And it's just like it would be cool, like there were sometimes like the Sumaru 3D World where they showed Rosalina was playable, and it's like, all right, really, you gotta show Rosalina
well,
is playable?
not in
Are
the
you kidding?
original game.
Yeah, that's it. It's
The
funny you
three-
said
no,
3D
they did,
world, 'cause
remember?
that's what
They
this
did, remember
reminds
that?
me of. Remember that kind of boring Super Mario 3D World trailer that was the first one,
Mm-hmm.
and people are like, "Oh, this is just
Yeah.
Super Mario 3D Land on Wii U." And then that fucking next trailer came out, and that shit was awesome, and it was playing all the fucking big band music and all that, and people were like, "Holy shit, that's what this trailer is." And that's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of that.
Well,
Okay, that looks kind of cool. Yeah,
That
it's
is true.
3D Mario ish. But then like they hit you with the fucking dun 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 dun
Yeah.
dun. Like, oh shit!
Yeah,
this
but
shit is
at the
amazing.
same time, they went out and showed everything for that game. Because I remember at that point, like they showed off again the Rosalina stuff. They're like, "Did you know Rosalina's playable?" No, and I didn't need to know it. That would have been
Actually,
so cool
I don't know,
to
man.
just know that. Like,
I
don't know.
get that could be a problem, but for me, that's a cool incentive to know to like, oh, how do I get a Rosalina? Oh, I got to play the special world, not just beat Bowser and put the game away. Who was somebody I was in our circle that, not the main circle, but we were doing. I had a bunch of different guests on, and I think it was Derek Steelfox, the guy who used to be on my podcast and good at Smash. I think he just beat Bowser the first time and called it a day on that game.
Really?
Yeah, and Rosalina's not
Shit.
unlocked till like the second level
No, it's
of
not.
the
Not
of
to,
the
like,
bonus
yeah.
world
Yeah.
after the second. I think he
Yeah.
got to the second Bowser world with the Ferris wheel and stuff, and I think he called it a day after that because he's not a huge not spoiler 3D platformer fan. But
Okay.
I do want to talk about the difference between like somebody like Ravarul to taking the trailer or Game Explain and breaking it down and adding in their theories and putting together other information. I'm just looking at however long that trailer was, 2 minutes out of a game I'm guessing is going to be 10, 15 hours. I'm like, if Nintendo chose to show that stuff, I have faith that they're not going to like show me the death of a main character like Retro pointed out.
Yeah.
You pointed out, I don't even know what death you're talking about because I only played
Oh,
the
that
first
bums
part.
me out.
But
You
Uh,
actually don't know that death. I
that.
know, like I feel like that's such an iconic death.
It is
Really
really
iconic.
Well, no, but
Everybody
I
you
know
know what?
Jesse
Jimmy ain't played
dies.
the fucking
But
game.
Jesse
put it in
died in the
context.
remake.
You know what Square would more likely do if they were to put out a trailer for a modern, they would show part of the scene. They would
So,
show like
I would
they
be shocked if they don't show that part in a trailer. to be
yeah,
honest.
like that's a trailer worthy scene, but you wouldn't show the whole scene. You would
wouldn't
I
show
don't know.
the-
Yeah, I'm curious if they'll show that scene in when they get to that part in the.
Well, let
remake.
me.
I feel like you gotta, but you have to allude to it.
That is such. Yeah, because I'm
The
surprised.
remake gets
Or
to that
maybe-
part if they don't rewrite the whole shit.
Or maybe
Well,
everybody
they
knows
might
it,
reroute,
and they might just not. Maybe they'll just do maybe they'll do a Walking Dead shit. Some characters that died in the comic book, they switch it to somebody else in the game or in the show.
Yeah,
Well,
That's
think about
something
it.
they
It's
could
just
do.
like
It's like,
Well, there
oh,
is-
so you still end up getting surprised by who died.
yeah. The whole idea is that like you would still put it in the trailer to create misdirection. That's
Yeah,
actually
exactly.
That's like the best thing a trailer can do is where you think it's one thing and you're angry about it, and then you play the game with, oh shit, this
yeah.
is completely
You know what
different than what I thought it was.
The greatest fucking thing for that was, and I love that so much, is the Deadpool 2 trailer. The
Oh.
Deadpool 2
Yeah.
trailer
Yeah,
Yeah,
showed
we-
all
yeah.
those.
fucking
Yeah, Deadpool
everything.
2.
All these characters doing all this cool shit, and you're sitting in the cinema, and this thing happens, and you're like, wait, what? And just nothing from the trailer is in the movie. And I love that kind of shit, because then
Yeah.
I'm like, thank you, like
They trolled you, and Mess with your expectations is good
Yeah,
stuff.
she was
That
hilarious.
fits with the meta nature of Deadpool.
So
That's
what I
fine.
was
Yeah.
what I was
Yeah, it
getting
does.
towards is the difference between a major death in Final Fantasy VII and showing you a trailer that consists of almost entirely of the tutorial section. Let's say Skyward Sword. You know, the before you can even get your Loft Wing. You know, maybe they show the Loft Wing. And somebody's like, I don't want to see anything. Well, do you consider stuff you get in the tutorial? I know Retro says yes, but I mean, generally speaking, if they chose to show you something, God, I know the last time this happened, it wasn't as big of a deal, but I was like, that's literally in the opening cutscene. I think it might have been Hyrule Warriors. Yeah, because it was the time travel. I was like, it's literally in the opening cutscene. It's like you're gonna be 5 minutes in the game and you're gonna already know that that's a thing. So it's like, is that really a spoiler for a 40-hour game? That the opening cutscene, like,
It's tough because
So-
like
That's still a spoiler, I think.
if you avoided like the trailer because of it, then you truly just don't want to know anything about it. Like, who
Mhm.
cares? I
that
don't
has
care
to
if
do
it's
a
the first
lot
5
with
minutes
the
or what.
big switcheroo in the game too. You know, it's like that also ties in with the because that fucked me up moment. Like, oh, you did the whole double. Oh, you slick
Yeah.
motherfuckers, you.
Well, it's just
So-
like
It kind of ties into that. That's why I personally wouldn't want to know about the time travel mechanic until I actually played the game,
Like, I'm very basic when it comes to trailers.
even if it is in the early.
I want the first trailer to make me like want to get the game. So I want to see the good gameplay and maybe like what the game looks, you know. You can give me some story elements, but I don't know,
Yeah.
let's say like, you know, let's say Ocarina of Time, you know. An
You
Ocarina of
read my
Time.
freaking mind. Go ahead.
Show me in the trailer like you gotta like save the princess, like, you know, Ganon is there, you know. You can show me that, you know, like, oh, Link, I need you to be the hero and shit, but don't show me like Zelda transforming into Sheik, you know. Barely show me even, because that was for me one of the greatest twists ever. Do not, for example, show me like Link pulling out the sword, becoming like an adult, all this shit. You know, I don't need to see that.
You got
know,
it.
that's like,
That's
yeah.
exactly what I was thinking. I was thinking,
but that
what
built.
if I did not know, and the Nintendo never showed anything about you growing up, right? Somehow they just hid all that. That would have blew my fucking mind. Had I just discovered that playing the game, I went into the fucking Temple of Time and I do that shit, and then I'm Big Link. What? Like that shit would have messed me up back then. And that's a type of thing that
You know,
that's halfway through
you
the
know-
game, and they showed that shit. They showed a lot of adult
Just
Link
spoiled
shit.
it for
And it's
Robert.
just
He
like-
didn't know.
I was thinking right now, like, I think I know, like, but I don't know if I really know that's how
Yeah.
that happens. You know?
I totally have no argument for how you guys feel. Like, it just goes back to seeing that in the trailer is just as exciting. You know, it doesn't, for me, it's not like seeing the end of a story or end of a game or something. Like,
Now,
that
the point was,
builds
like,
more excitement.
even though Nintendo showed the adult Link shit, like I still like the game was still fucking phenomenal, right? That like at the end of the day, it didn't matter. It was
like the
cool
Wolf
to even
Link,
know about it.
the Wolf Link thing. Like when they show Wolf Link, how much hype that generated. It wasn't as cool
That
in the
shit was
actual
crazy.
game as
Right.
we hoped, but it still built up a ton of hype.
Yeah,
And I think that's what they're trying to capture with Dread. And T and I, we were coming from a little bit of a different perspective because here we saw this, you know, the area was kind of bland looking, I ain't gonna lie. And I liked Samus Returns, but I didn't love it. You know, it didn't like instantly shoot up the charts of the favorite Metroid games.
Yeah,
So I had
like
that. They hadn't they haven't made a new 2D game in 20 years, and I'm just like, all right, I'm sure it's gonna be good. I pre-ordered it, but I still am a little concerned that maybe they're gonna play it safe. No, this trailer, like I said in a tweet, this trailer basically said this is another M. This isn't Samus Return. This isn't a remake on a handheld. This is fucking Metroid 5 HD, and we're holding nothing back. They're going all in with this game. There's so much to the moves. The Samus has so much movement speed, like different types of ways to get around. I was like, holy shit! It reminded me of Returnal, but in a 2D.
Yeah.
Like there's just, it's so fast, it's so fluid. I'm like, damn.
Like the thing about this particular trailer, because one of the biggest concerns about Metroid is because it's a part of the Metroidvania gameplay style. And we've had a bunch of games that aren't Metroid or Castlevania come out that do that style really fucking well. Some people say it does it better than the games it's based off of. The biggest concern for fans of that gameplay that derives from Metroid partially is can Metroid Dread modernize itself and stand up with the modern greats of that genre? And up until this trailer, people were still pretty iffy. I think if you watched the trailer, you went, "Oh hell no!" We got it, we good, we fucking.
They
good.
went above and beyond just making.
Yeah, because the first trailer is cool, but you're excited because holy shit, it's a new Metroid game. But this trailer, it's one of those trailers where you sit there and go, "Nah, we fine." Like it's kind of like what you say. He has no worries about the game anymore. It's like we're good.
It's like, oh, you thought Metroid was a AA or a single A game? No, this is triple A.
Yeah.
This is creative Nintendo.
There's nothing wrong with thinking that because Nintendo has been playing it safe with a lot of their games this generation.
Right.
So I was like, oh no. I mean, I'm sure it's gonna be good, but is it? It's not gonna be like amazing. And nope. Like, I needed this trailer, just like Juice needed this trailer. I needed that shot in the arm from this trailer. So I'm super excited now.
Yeah, it's like damn. Like I saw just, I'm not like I said, Samus Returns was a good game. They introduced the counter mechanic, but and maybe Dread will have this. I didn't like the running sections where you had the one, if you fell or you fell behind, you died. Maybe those will be in the game. But I was just a little, was Mercury Steam capable of really delivering? And like T said, I've felt, that most of these Switch games since 2017. I mean, Smash obviously was all in. Animal Crossing feels like it was pretty. They didn't skimp too much, if any.
Luigi's
some
Mansion
of the
3 was
content.
a good
Luigi's Mansion 3. This, to me, Metroid Dread is the first game for me since Luigi's Mansion 3. I'm like, all right, this is actually, I hate to use it 5 years later, a next-gen Nintendo game, like, for the Switch. Like, it feels like this was built for the Switch. This is Nintendo getting the most out of their hardware.
I'll put it this way. This will put Mercury Steam very much in people's good graces, but if this comes out the way it feels like it's going to, that's another at least AA tier developer now.
Yeah,
I won't say it'll be triple depending on how the game is, but like right now they're very much looked at. All right, maybe we can let you do 2D Metroid and let fucking Retro Studios do 3D because if it looks the way it looks, man,
if it plays anywhere near as good as that trailer looks.
Yeah.
I mean, just look at the new Super Mario Brothers series. What everybody say? Man, why are they just milking this not that exciting art style, on the Wii, then on the Wii U? Or where's the new exciting 2D Mario game with this brand new art style, this new direction that really surprises us? And they didn't do it.
Still waiting on it.
And that's, I wasn't saying I was thinking that directly with Metroid, but I wasn't ready to just say, all right, this is gonna be amazing.
You weren't all in.
I was excited, and T and we harped on it a little bit. Probably, I feel like once I seen it, the direct feed on my TV, I was like, all right, this does look pretty good. But now this new trailer, I was like, holy shit! Like, graphics aside, I've never seen a Nintendo game where your character moves this fast, this fluid. Like, it's just amazing. I can't believe it.
Not even Mario and Odyssey?
No, I mean, Mario doesn't move this fast. This is like This is like lightning fast. Like,
yeah,
I could just see.
Mario doesn't move like that.
And I feel like the one thing a lot of Metroid fans like is sequence breaking. I very much believe this game, with the movement speed and the shit that you see in this trailer, man, people won't have a field day with this.
Speed runners are gonna be.
Yeah,
people are gonna really be able to show, because it looks like there's all kinds of moveset. I don't know how you pull them all off. There's so many different things just quickly rapid fired in the trailer. I'm like, all right, that's what I look for. That's why I was criticizing Tearaway earlier, and Robert, I called it a walking simulator in the chat. You literally your full speed is probably the equivalent of half
It's
stick
slow.
on Mario 64, half the analog stick. I mean, it's your top speed is walking, and all you can do is jump, and then you use the touchpad
But
to blow
it
the
ain't
wind.
trying to. But Juice,
I
it
know. I'm
isn't
just saying the
trying to be
difference. That's the problem. That's the problem with Astro's Playroom. That's the problem with Tearaway.
Hey man,
If you're going to be a
that's the thing.
3D
It's not a
platformer,
problem. It's not a problem for
listen.
me.
Let me tell the rest. Let me explain the whole thing. It's a
Listen,
problem
son.
because there's only one way to play the game: to walk slowly, get to the ledge, and jump. You can't do any kind of messing around. You can't make your own routes. You can't do your own thing. You can't basically be in like a playground, a virtual playground. As fun as Astro's Playroom is, you have the jump, you have the main moves, you have the jump and the hover, and then you can punch. If one, you do find the bow and arrow, and you do the little ship thing where you use the triggers. Those are fun because it's a little bit different. But if they just all you gotta do is give different move sets, keep the levels identical, and then I can play it one way. I can do a triple jump or a spin jump to get up somewhere while somebody else goes the long way, and it just gives so much more variety. That's why I say it's a problem, even if they're happy fine with this very easy, basic to basic playing game. You add a few more moves, and then two people can play it completely different, the same game, and that's what Metroid Dread looks like. There's so much variety in the moveset. It's gonna be like
That's why in Mario Odyssey the levels are bigger because you run faster. Then they keep that walking simulator aspect intact.
It's
Probably
terrible.
gets
that is. And Sir Ibsters wants to know
Terrell's face.
what's the secret sauce to a
Right
trailer.
now.
The secret sauce to a trailer is good music.
Hell's yeah, good music.
Showcasing
I mean, it was
really cool
well edited.
sequences,
Yeah, it was well
Honestly.
edited.
edited together with really cool sequences. I mean, some a
Yeah.
couple cool, one really cool reveal.
Rare as fuck now, boy.
for longtime fans, and yeah, it looks fast paced. It's gameplay. It's not. I mean, it cut to some cinematic stuff, but it's not.
But it's not. But it wasn't spoiling anything. It was more of like, oh, guess what's here, and oh shit, what's happening, and at the end of the trailer, like, oh, what's that? And it got you invested to the point where you're like, fuck, is it not October yet? Like that. Like that's how you feel.
I mean,
It's
just
almost
compare it
October.
to like. I mean, what else came out this year from Nintendo? Like Bowser's Fury trailer was great too. Remember the
Yeah, it was
first
a really good
Bowser?
Bowser
It was
Fury.
good.
Yeah, Bowser's Fury trailer was really
Great music, really cool epic moments. That's what makes a good trailer. The Mario
good.
Tennis
The
trailer.
music makes it so much.
The Mario Tennis trailer was it like, oh my god, that's so cool because they just show people swing, but it looked cool when they were running in the rush mode. But it wasn't an exciting trailer. That's not the type of game. But remember Odyssey when
Magic it down for hipsters,
I mean,
man.
to
Gotta
be
break it
fair,
down.
there's even when they announced the Animal Crossing, that's an exciting ass trailer. The music, the way they set it up, like just once they, and especially for longtime fans, when you see them just play stuff outside, you automatically go, holy shit,
Yeah.
holy
Yeah.
shit.
Well, remember the T-Rex, and we're like, what game is this? And you saw the Mario hat for
Oh
Odyssey,
my god, yeah.
That shit
Hell's
was
yeah.
mind
and then
blowing.
that music. It was
Yeah.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Paulatina, not Paulatina, Pauline, her
Pauline.
little song, and I was like, damn,
Yeah.
that looks like a fun game. That's what
Yeah.
makes a good trailer. It makes you excited.
It's always that little you
Jump
need
up,
like that.
what is it?
that
The
Jump
song,
Up
what's the
Superstar.
song?
Jump Up
Is it-
Superstar.
Is that what
Yeah.
it's called?
Here we go.
Yeah. Like that whole, I mean, that was like a whole nother level to adding to like the mystique of a game. Having that whole song.
Mm-hmm.
When's the last time has Nintendo ever made a fucking song? Like that for a game? I can't remember. So
I feel like that makes a good trailer for me. You need the music and the pacing, and you need kind of like what Robert said. You need that one moment, no matter what game it is, that makes you go like. Even if this is the 10th game in the series, that one moment that makes you go like, holy shit. Like you said, Animal Crossing for Animal Crossing fans, when you can put something outside, or like the first time they like scoop the earth into the water so you could like terraform and shit.
Yeah.
It's just like Breath of the
It was
Wild,
like,
like
what the fuck?
yeah.
Well,
That's just like
Wa-
Breath of the
Brother-
Wild. The first time the Link jumps and he sails
Oh.
down, and you're like, "Oh, fuck this!"
Breath of the
Fuck
Wild
this,
was one of the few trailers that literally has very little like story content in it because the game has a little story content in it,
Exactly.
and literally got everyone excited off of jumping off shit.
It just showed you
raining
what,
areas.
some of the
Yeah.
things you could do in the world, like
Yeah.
Doing the
And you were just
backflip.
like, this man's climbing. Why does this look so
climbing.
good?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Look at the
well, the
horizon,
best one was-
motherfucker. Look at the way the light shines off the cliff, and you're just
I
like,
mean, the best trailer of all time to me is that Breath of the Wild
Was that at
Nintendo Switch
the
presentation.
January 2017?
yeah, that was the January one.
That
That's when we
shit
got.
was
That's when we got
insane.
the.
music was
stick.
epic.
I mean, you get chills. Even today, I watch it.
Yeah, but
300
I go back and watch that video every once in a while. Still,
I
that
got
shit's still
350 hours in Breath of the Wild, and I watch that trailer, still get chills.
It
That's
literally makes you tear up every time, and you're just like, "What the fuck?"
especially
This
the
game is
English
insane.
crying. The English crying is way better than the Japanese.
Shut the-
But
but that's a really good example,
years
though.
ago.
That's literally the greatest trailer ever made. I made a video about that as well. You have like the music, the pacing, the gimmicks, and you show snippets of a story. You know, like nothing
Yeah.
important. You know, Zelda crying, so you know it's going to be emotional. Some
Yeah.
monsters destroying shit. Boom. You don't need fucking more. You know.
But
you
they
don't
sh-
need the details
For
of
those
everything.
people who say, like someone like you who claims spoilers for everything, they show Calamity Ganon. They show you like a Stone Talus. They show the Guardian on the was it Rodania on the on Death Mountain taking a step. I mean, they showed some pretty big stuff, and I
You
I
had
guess-
no
I
fucking
guess
idea what
because,
that shit was, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
In Metroid, if they show a villain here, like from a story, like a storied villain or something like that, you know right away what that shit is.
Yeah.
But Breath of the Wild was like so new and different. You're like, oh shit, what is that? What's that going to be about? What am I going to do there? You know, that kind of stuff.
Quick,
Making
it's
me want to
flashed.
rewatch the
I
trailer.
didn't know.
I know.
I
it's-
didn't know what the fuck
Watch
the
it now.
Rodania was. You saw it in the trailer.
Right,
you didn't know what the
you didn't
fuck
know
it is.
what the fuck it
It's a
was.
shape. It looks like a shape. You didn't know what it is. It's just going crazy.
What is that
and
shit? We didn't know what what do you call it, little the Guardians. We didn't know any of that shit was. Like,
Yeah, fucking hell. That trailer is literally insane. Like, it's so well edited, and just the music. The fact that they made music specifically for that trailer.
I better mute it though. Just
talking about they ain't got no good music in that game. Fuck off. That game.
It's insane.
I love just. I literally was content riding horses just to hear the little piano, the light piano music. And this trailer started off just like, oh, animals stretching, ducks
Yeah.
swimming, birds
But
flying,
then it starts to
Fucking
go
dense world.
insane.
Koroks, and then you see the. I didn't send this to you guys. That related. Somebody added a mod to the CEMU emulator that added ray tracing, and it runs at 8K.
I
And
actually
the
did see
fucking
it.
Zoro's Domain looks fucking amazing. The rest of the game, it doesn't do as much for, but Zoro's Domain looks freaking
Yeah, I did
amazing.
see that. It looked.
It looks
good.
like
It looked pretty
better than
crazy.
any current next gen game out. It looks stunning. Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember
agree
this
with
part,
that.
and you're like, "What's that in the distance?" Game explains, looking at it. You're just like climbing. That's where you saw the
that shit was,
climbing.
like mind blowing.
And you just saw the
Yeah.
scale of the world, and I think a lot of it was just seeing like the wildlife just chilling.
Yeah, this is when.
And here you got some background story narration, but just slightly,
Yeah.
you know.
Just, I mean,
at
watching
that
this
shit,
now, I'm
man.
getting giddy.
It just
Makes me
told
wanna
the story
boot up
just
the game,
looking at
man.
fucking- God, this game was amazing.
And then it goes. This is the part where.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
the
I
music
think
was
this is like.
Let's see. Let's check the music.
I think this is one of Nintendo's longest users too. Actually,
Oh yeah, here it goes.
this thing almost feels like a music video.
And then it
It's
ends
holy
with Zelda
crap.
crying, and you're just like chills, the
Oh,
hair on the
fuck,
back of
yeah,
your
man.
neck.
Yeah,
Now
What is
you're ready
this
to
shit?
learn the story of
That
what
trailer
happened
is-
100 years ago.
look at it. Holy shit.
Voiceover.
Oh, there's towns, retro. You know, that's the kind of shit we were saying.
I don't see any caves though.
Maybe you can go underwater. It'd be awesome.
Oh Lord.
But I need to go in the water and almost.
What's
Yeah,
that flower
I was
called?
gonna
Was
buy
it
that
Silent
shit.
Princess or something?
It goes.
Yeah, there's
Oh,
Rodania.
that's that shot right there. Oh,
Oh, Zelda almost nude. She's in a.
Oh,
what is this thing? This giant.
What is
thing?
this?
Fucking Zelda? What the hell is this shit?
Oh, here you go. It's about to, oh, that's when we saw her face for the first time too. If
Oh,
you don't
man.
remember,
Yep.
that was the reveal.
Fucking
Oh.
shot.
You're like, oh my! I was like, she's perfect.
She's perfect. Yep.
There you go. And then
Oh,
Yeah,
that
that's
shot
where it
right
hits
there.
you.
The
fucking
feels.
hell.
The feels,
So
man.
good.
getting goosebumps and the sound isn't even fucking on.
Yeah.
The irony is you can get that scene way
There's
earlier.
Rihanna.
than you need to.
There was
I know every
Rihanna.
sound in it just by watching it.
Crazy.
It's just an experience.
I mean, that game is just.
The music.
That's like 50% of the cutscenes right there. Goddamn.
It pretty much is.
Yeah.
You see almost every one a shot from every cutscene, and then it just
that
And they
standing up
revealed the
sequence.
title for the first time.
the editing too. The editing.
And then
here.
they waited and went,
wait. When it
Wow.
goes,
third.
go back
You
to
went,
You talking about when they go dun 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 dun?
as he lifts up and then the
Yeah.
sword.
That's a hard scene.
Is there a game series with I mean, this is like a silly small thing you would think, but like consistently good subtitles as Zelda? Like I can't think of anything like oh yeah,
I mean,
the subtitle to that game is so good, always consistently. Like
Oh
I
yeah.
can't think of one bad subtitle to a Zelda game.
Even
I mean,
the ones
I
I don't
don't
like.
wanna be that
Even the Zelda
guy.
games people don't like Spirit Tracks and Phantom
Phantom
Hourglass. They
Hourglass.
still sound awesome, right?
yeah.
Like they still
They
encapsulate
still
the
sound
game.
I
really
don't
well.
want to be that guy, but the one time I honestly thought that was Skyward Sword, but only because the game to me felt like it was named after the gimmick in the game. It felt too like cheap. But that's just me. That I literally thought that when they saw the trailer, I was like Skyward Sword, like, what the fuck is that? You know.
But it's deeper than just like holding your sword skyward. It's talking about
Oh, I-
fucking
In the sky, you're in the sky,
yeah, you're in the sky.
sky loft. So I
Skyloft,
think they've
right.
been pretty good. Yeah, they're all pretty solid.
And you know that like the fan versions are always like awful. Like,
Yeah.
the fan subtitles are always terrible for Zelda. It's like no way that's never
One
gonna
was
be that.
for Breath of the Wild 2 was something like Ganon, the King Ganon, or the King of Hyrule.
They're
Like,
always terrible.
I
Like-
saw that was one like Death of the Wild. It was like, come on, man. Something like that. I was like, really did?
yeah,
You think they
'cause
could
even the
do
games I don't like,
all this kind of shit.
I still like the
Fallen-
title. Like Majora's Mask, that's a great name.
Yeah, Majora's Mask.
I mean,
The
it
Link
is what it
Between
is.
Worlds. The Link Between Worlds is
Link
great.
Between Worlds. I mean,
Link
that's
to the
perfect.
Past.
Yeah. Well, what about the
Well, there is
Adventure of
one
Link?
Adventure of Link. That one's pretty lame. Just kidding.
The Adventure of Link.
That's still
Well,
pretty
so-
cool.
Yeah, well,
That
the
was
whole
just John
titling for
Payton.
that one was messed up, and that's why it's the black sheep.
Mhm.
Zelda 2? What? Wait, what? It was called The Legend of Zelda. What the fuck do you
Yeah,
mean
Zelda 2,
2?
The Adventure of Link.
What is this, Rambo 2 shit? What is this?
That's why
Yeah.
I think, because people sometimes still say Breath of the Wild too, but there's no way in my
No, it's not gonna be
life
called
that I
that.
ever
We
believe
just
that's
call
what
that
they're gonna
'cause we
call
know-
it. Yeah,
It's
that's why
title
Nintendo
pending.
doesn't even.
That's what that is.
Nintendo
That's
doesn't
title
even
pending.
call it Breath of the Wild 2. They call it the sequel to Breath of the Wild.
That is
Yeah.
true. They do call it that. That's true. That is.
Yeah, we
actually
do that because it's easy, quick. You know what we were talking about without having to, The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild Part 2 or something.
It's gonna be New Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild.
Shut the fuck
Yeah.
up.
Oh god. Oh, god.
On the new Nintendo Switch. Oh,
They said we gotta stop doing these badass titles someday.
We
Might as
gotta
well.
fuck up. Wow. Wow.
Hey, whoa!
Wow. Where did that come
Why
from,
is
buddy?
they trash? Why is they trashing you? Damn you. Poor Halo 5, man.
Better than the Halo 5 subtitles. Guardians.
Guardians? Yeah. Yeah, what is that even?
Halo
Guardians?
6 Resurrection.
Oh,
Everybody else's
Jesus.
subtitles are always trash and they're very predictable.
Yeah.
Not
One
much thought
franchise
behind it.
I do like the subtitles for is Uncharted. I think they're very they're
Okay,
vague
yeah.
enough,
Yeah.
but they're very
Uncharted
fucking
is
cool.
pretty good. I'll give you
Yeah.
that. Uncharted
A
is good.
Thief's End, Drake's
And,
Fortune.
among thieves and shit, because
Drake's
it's the game and
Misfortune.
because there's multiple
Thief's End.
people and shit. Like I really like that stuff.
Lost Legacy.
The
yeah,
Lost
yeah.
Legacy, best one.
There's some good ones.
But like Horizons are terrible. Zero Dawn, like I
I thought that was the
What?
full title
Yeah.
always.
I know it has to do with the story, but
I thought that was the full title too, to be honest.
Yeah.
Hmm?
I
But
thought
Horizon Zero,
Dawn was Forbidden West.
the Forbidden West came out, or the new one.
Yeah,
I'm
but
like,
it's like-
wait, Zero Dawn
it's
isn't
called-
the full title?
Well, that's the thing. It's not called Horizon Zero Dawn Forbidden West. It's called Horizon Forbidden West, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So clearly they're Horizon is their most important word, and I'm like,
I like the
Yeah.
Zero Dawn part, honestly.
But it
I
doesn't
actually
make-
liked
too.
it. I think
It doesn't make
rolls off
sense,
the
but
tongue.
I could.
it don't
At
make
least
sense.
it sounds all right.
It makes sense once you play the game and you get the
It's one of
story.
it's one of those
But
things
even
that you.
that, like, that's a stupid name for that, that
Yeah, but
element
if you're
in the
gonna
story.
if you're gonna call it fucking like if you're gonna call it Zero Dawn, like it works well enough. The
Yeah,
problem is that the
it's fine, it's just very generic.
people didn't associate Horizon being the core of the franchise's title.
Yeah.
With Horizon Forbidden
Well,
West,
what
you're
about-
like,
what
Horizon's
about,
the core friend.
What
So
about
Horizon is the main core.
Yeah,
name
like
of the
Horizon
franchise?
is the core. Like Jesus Christ.
Terrell like this one where it's was it
That doesn't make sense for the
uh,
game either.
Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep 0.2 a fragmentary
God.
something.
All right, look.
A fragmentary
Kingdom
passage.
Hearts
It's like,
has
what?
bad name.
What is that?
Listen, when I saw Kingdom Hearts 358 days divided by 2, that was the worst. To me, that was one of the worst fucking titles I'd heard in my life. And since Juice put it up for a second, God and Monsters. Remember that's what the fucking
Oh
Immortals
man,
That was trademarked, so they couldn't use it.
was like,
that was
I will
not
say,
good.
I remember I used to be like, no,
I
Gods
never
and
liked the
Monsters sounds
name.
way better
Immortals
than
Phoenix
Immortals.
Rising's a pretty cool title.
Immortals Phoenix
Yeah, I like
Rising
Immortals
does
Phoenix
sound
Rising.
better.
That
yeah,
sounds
that
cool.
works fine. But fucking, I remember when the game was shut off, we were like Gods and Monsters, and I was
Gods
like,
and Monsters.
GG on
Yeah.
that one. You.
I'm just looking
Fuck
through
you.
I was looking through my PS4 backups screenshots of
I
Immortals,
was
and
trying
I'm
to
just
look
like,
at
God
like
damn.
subtitles now. 'cause I'm
I'm
good
trying.
at-
I mean, I'm thinking of certain games that
well, I'm
work.
thinking of
Right,
like Metal
Lenny
Gear.
points it out, like Horizon. I'm thinking of Horizon, the fucking racing game. Right?
Yeah.
Like,
What about
that's another problem. with
Metal
that
Gear. I
game.
mean, that's Twin Snakes or
Sons of
Well, that
Liberty.
one's not bad.
Well,
Twin
you're
Snakes
talking
is
about
not bad.
Kojima.
Well, Twin Snakes. I don't think Twin Snakes is a bad title.
What was
I
five?
think it's good. I
Exactly
think it's
not bad.
good.
Phantom
I like
Pain.
I like it. I like it. That's what I'm saying. It sounds badass. You know? Sons of Liberty.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, but
Phantom
it's-
Pain.
Guns of the Patriots. and
Yeah,
shit.
like
Well,
it-
Guns of the
those are-
Patriots sounds a little I don't know. I don't really love that name.
That game's not very good
I'm
either.
not feeling it.
Yeah, I don't love that.
I feel like
name
most of
specifically.
those are okay at the very least.
Subsistence.
I like Phantom Pain.
What the fuck is a subsistence? Is
I don't
that a
really
word?
like Phantom
Just to tell you.
Pain.
Is that even a word? What the fuck is that? I'm an
Alright,
English
look,
major, though. I
the
never heard
problem-
that word before in my life.
The problem with Phantom Pain is that Phantom Pain implies the game's gonna be cooler than what it actually is. and it's not.
Phantom pain.
And also,
What?
I think he was.
I mean, I got.
He was
I got,
he's going off that Phantom limb.
I got this weird back pain. It's phantom pain.
Yeah, I feel like it doesn't work. 'Cause most pain is phantom. You don't fucking see the wound.
But, you know that's what happens when you're
If
so
I'm
used to
bleeding
feeling your own
internally, is
part.
that a phantom pain?
I mean, that is just the arrogance of Kojima, though.
Well, also, I always don't like how they
that's the
did
worst subtitle of all times.
how they did
Super Mario Sunshine.
You know
Get that shit out of
you
here.
know what Sunshine should have been called? Sunshine should have been called
What?
Color Splash.
Seriously.
Color Splash.
Seriously.
Yeah, Super Mario Color Splash.
Literally, the way the game is, it literally feels like it should have just been called Color Splash.
Damn.
I feel like you
It
would.
was a sunshine during my summer vacation. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, but
Super Mario.
the whole premise of the
Sunsplash.
game is cleaning shit.
I also never liked the Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare than Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
I
for
never liked.
2019.
Yeah.
I was like,
never liked
come
Sunshine.
Call of Duty does that like real.
They did-
Anybody,
now
Anybody go
Black
see
Ops Cold War-
Candyman this weekend?
I'll probably watch it tomorrow.
A lot of
or
people
so.
did.
Oh,
Apparently. Yeah.
not that. Well, watch
Came out of
Candyman.
nowhere.
What did you watch?
The-
Candyman?
The new
Are you
one.
talking
So
about
Which one? The new one?
I
What's
saw
that
the
mean?
original.
Oh,
three.
okay. I gotta say, yeah.
Why are they both called Candyman when this is a sequel
I
to
see what you
I
mean.
hate
Candyman?
they do that shit. Like, it was only 20 fucking years ago. Get that shit out.
Halloween just did that same shit. The sequel to
Yeah,
Halloween
I
is
hate
called
that.
Halloween.
Yeah, because they rebooted it.
It's the
I didn't
third-
know.
Yeah, read God of War, God of War, and God of War.
When you look it up now, it's gonna be the new
God of
one.
War is lazy too.
Are you
God
playing
of
God
War
of
pisses
War?
me-
God
Yeah,
of
they
War.
needed
I'm
to
playing
come
God
up
of
with
War.
God of War was like, I don't want to put out.
I needed a subtitle.
I wanted that to be a
Doom
new
got a
idea.
deal
Like,
after
it's,
this.
So is this shit about
it's about a
Kratos
God
or
of
is it about the God of War? Is it
In
about-
retrospect, God of War that makes less sense for the new game because it's like
it makes,
God of,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It makes no sense.
yeah, like God of War, but the game's about like a father-son relationship. How the fuck does it got to do with
Yeah, it
the
has
God of
nothing
War?
to
Which game did you play? Spider-Man or Spider-Man or Spider-Man?
that's
Or what
pretty
about
bad, too.
Spider-Man? Have you played Spider? Like you can name like
I
6,
guess
7
if
different
Kratos
the
Spider-Man.
only the only
People
thing
would have been
about
all over it still.
the only thing about Spider-Man that's a little bit more tolerable is that Spider-Man always kind of has a level of redundancy in the beginning of it because they do the whole Uncle Ben. With
No,
great
but
power
like, but
comes
what I'm
great
saying is like, it's like
responsibility
for
kind
no,
of-
but
Web of
game wise, I'm talking
Shadows.
about game wise. Think about it. You could name.
Oh yeah, game wise,
Spider-Man.
you would hold yourself. Yeah.
You could Spider-Man or Spider-Man or Spider-Man, and then there's like I think there's probably more.
I wanna
There,
play
yeah, there's a Spider-Man. and
Miles
then
Morales, Spider-Man.
I could,
And
I
then-
could
yeah,
tell-
but
I
I'm
could
thinking
Name like
look,
the movies with the
Look,
home.
look,
and
look,
shit,
Spider-Man
man.
PS2,
That dumbass
Spider-Man
shit.
PS4, Spider-Man Genesis,
let me tell you-
Spider-Man PS1.
Let me tell you the.
You
Let me
know,
tell
Way
you-
home,
Let
far
me tell
from
you a
home.
naming. Let me tell you a naming convention that still sticks around. I can't stand. Pokemon Red. Just conceptually, Pokemon Red and blue, and then yellow, and you're
Name it
just
after
like,
the color of the cartridge.
man, I'm just like, what is? And then like Pokemon Silver and Gold, and then eventually we say, fuck all these colors. We're moving on to stones, ruby,
Yep. Diamonds and
sapphire,
pearls and
diamonds, and then eventually we just get back to colors, black and white,
Yep.
and then
God
fuck all
damn.
that, and then letters X and Y.
Well, even Pokemon Sword and
It's a very
Shield, I
creative
mean,
franchise. It's
I
very
hate
creative.
it. Pokemon Sun and Moon. The fuck are we
Sun
doing?
and Moon.
Sun and
Give
Moon,
it a
goddamn.
title. Even
Gotcha.
Legends Arceus is a better name. Fuck
Legends
you.
Arceus sounds better.
Yeah.
At least it's a legend of a Pokemon. Here you're just like blue, yellow.
Pokemon's one of those series that like the fan versions of subtitles are better.
Other M.
than
What
the
the
actual
fuck does that
game.
even mean? Other M.
Yeah, actually you're
Other
right.
M.
Other M is a pretty.
Well, to be
bad
fair, I
title.
do like the Ratchet and Clank ones, yo, because they're all like sexual innuendos. That's what.
Other
They do.
than
Yeah, they're really good
That's
too.
why you
What's
like
Rift
them,
Apart,
Robert.
though?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
'Cause
Rift
they-
Apart. Yeah, they kind of stopped.
they
it,
have
yeah.
they have some good puns, especially in the
They're-
early ones.
Well, before
Going
that,
commando
it was
and shit
everything.
like
I like the
Commando,
no,
Up Your
up
Arsenal.
your arsenal. Is
Up your
Arsenal.
arsenal, going commando.
That's
Those
pretty
are great.
good. Those are pretty good.
Quest
I
for
fuck-
Booty.
Rift
for
Apart
ass.
literally did what Skyward Sword did for me. They're naming it after the gimmick instead of like keeping up with it, you know?
I still like it though, because it
It sounds
fits.
cool.
It's about
like, yeah.
risks.
I feel like Skyward Sword is a good mixture of both.
Yeah.
Because it makes sense considering how like the game starts off and like it works. It's one of those things where it's a gimmick title, but it also works for the actual title of the game, I guess.
Okay.
I'm trying to look for.
Candyman would have been better. See, here's the thing about that kills me, and this is my opinion, but did you see the original Candyman? Because all this stuff that people refer to as woke, which is just a construct to just kind of destroy stuff that has to do with social issues. The original Candyman has social issues in it. Like people don't remember that, but it had it. But now today that shit's called woke, and that's just the craziest thing to me. It's just like bonkers to me.
Hey man,
That's because a certain group of people have been really good at kind of marginalizing things by just throwing woke at it or throwing social justice warriors to stuff at it, and now it's just it becomes it becomes a caricature. But that kind of stuff was in the earlier movies.
It's just
back and
like
watch it.
I don't know if
Trust
it's
me, it's
similar,
there.
but everyone was like,
The
"Oh, Black
wokeness was there in 1993 or whenever it came out.
Panther is the first black Marvel superhero." Like, did you not see
Yeah, well,
Blade?
Here's the thing. A lot of that shit has to do, because they market that shit that way, and so you got to blame, the studios for marketing that kind of stuff, and people getting annoyed by it. But again, like I said, this stuff was always a thing, but now people get upset about it. That's the difference, because it's being shoved at you. Oh, this is what you should care about in the movie. No, let it be a part of the movie without, hey, we're doing this, pat us on the back. That's the shit that pisses people off.
Yeah, man, I'll probably watch it tomorrow or Wednesday or something. I didn't want to watch it on the weekend because that horror movie audiences on weekends are garbage, man. It's so annoying. It's loud and obnoxious.
I don't think
I
there's
agree
not
with
too
you on
many
that
people
one, Lenny.
going.
I think
There's
the
not too
original one is
people-
probably just better anyway.
There's not too many
So,
people going to
I-
the theater anymore, Robert. That
Yeah, but
died
trust me,
down pretty
man.
quick.
Even
Oh,
though
Robert will.
I still go, and I know, like, I know the audiences for like horror movies when it's like weekends. You get a lot more groups, and I feel like some teens, and they don't really care about the
Yeah.
experience. And
Yeah, they just go and just experience a horror
And
movie.
so,
I miss those
that's
days.
why I try to go like early on like the weekdays.
Do you don't like when everyone cheers and screams and you miss stuff in the movie? Because
Hell no, man.
me and
Bro,
Rob,
you're
me and
50
Rule
years
too.
old. You're
What
barely
happened?
past 20.
Yeah, I know. And how come
Man,
people
like
can't
that's
follow
part of
me?
movie going to me. Like that's the point. Like you're in this kind of group setting. I'm thinking of like Avatar. Everybody cheered and then they kind of cried and all that stuff at the right. Everybody was together and that shit. To me, that's awesome. That's what makes.
No, man.
That's why I
saw,
care about going to the movie still. Like
I-
that's what makes me still want to go. I don't, it's not about it's got great audio and then look at the big screen. It's the community aspect.
it's
of going
about
to
it's
movies.
for me.
That's why I like.
For me, at least, it's about the huge screen and the audio and stuff.
We know how you like your huge screens, so
Oh
Just
my
like this.
god.
I don't know why that's just something.
why didn't you? Did you not? You should have did a
no.
reaction to the Pokemon stuff, so we could have seen you looking around. Oh, that looks cool. Oh, like that.
Well, to be fair though, I don't even. I remember I did the reactions here now. I don't even do it on TV.
I know, but it's still fun to make fun of you for.
Yeah, but it's funnier. I feel like it'd be funnier that way.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
the other day, I plugged in my PS5 controller, and I was like, oh, update for Rocket League. Now, let me just turn it on, boot it up, and just see what it looks like. So it's like a 5 or 6 foot cord. So I'm like literally 5 feet away from my 65-inch sitting on the floor. And I thought of you. I'm like looking up and just like, this TV does look huge from this close. From my couch, it looks like a 50-inch. And, but it's just no way I could never sit that close and actually play. Like,
When you go to the movies, Robert, where do you sit?
front row.
well, it depends. If it's IMAX, if I'm sitting in an IMAX theater and it usually not reclined chairs, then I sit. It's probably closer than what most people would sit for sure, but it's
That's what
I like
it's
my.
not like at the bottom. It's like it's like you go a few steps up and it's like the second row or third row.
I
up
like
there.
my eyes to be looking straight ahead and to be the center.
That's how it
center
is.
height
That's
of the
how it is
screen.
to me at least. To me at least, that's how it is.
Without having to tilt my head, like being
But
comfortable.
when there's reclined chairs, and I'm like this, then I'm watching it in like the second row, yo, and I'm like this is the second row recline like that, because then that's how I like it.
Anyway,
And-
let's get out of here.
yeah.
We can talk about movies afterwards, so Terrell can quickly bounce. Because
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
as soon as
Go
movies
on.
come up, he's like, "I'm out of here."
I'm glad
Gone.
he
Yeah, I always
understands.
have to bounce
So,
anyway so I could pass out, yo.
Appreciate you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.
What?
Trash.
What is the trash for?